It's Friday, June 12th, 2026. Let's start off as we typically do by telling you that if you'd like to, I shouldn't say telling you, that makes it sound like a directive, by letting you know that if you'd like to support our show, go to supportourshow.com and make a selection from the array of donation options. I shouldn't say donation either. Support options that are available there for you. Getting really weird about my terminology. Because I'm annoyed at when other people use words casually incorrectly or without consideration of the meaning. So I'm trying to be better about that myself because it is so enticing to just say things.
You're talking to somebody with a master's in English literature and a master's in writing about words mattering.
Well, but not just the words mattering, but it's...
I absolutely agree with you. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I mean, whatever. It's always been.
You know what?
So
I didn't realize that I use a lot of big words that my kids don't know, but my son is really good about asking me what the hell I'm talking about now. So like he'll what did I use today? I was talking about something pernicious. I used the word pernicious. Well, which is like I love the word pernicious. And it's it is a regular kind of word in my vocabulary, right?
Yeah, it is, but it's not one you can really bust out in casual conversation all that often.
I was talking about hair dye. I was saying that hair dye is particularly pernicious when it comes to staining the counters in the bathroom.
Sure. Yeah.
And my son was like, "What does pernicious mean?" I was like, "Okay." And I find that I get worse when I'm writing. When I wasn't writing, my vocab got a little more like slimmed out. But when I am writing, it's like I've turned part of the engine on, and now like all these words come out, and I just use them. And I like that my son stops me and goes, "What does that mean?" I used another one. Oh, abhor. I abhor that. And he was like, abhor? What is it? But it's like strong hate is the simplest way to look that up. So.
I find I have to say abhor, otherwise people think I'm talking about...
Abhor. I know, but if I say abhor, people think I've said abhor.
No, and I have the opposite problem. If I say abhor, which I have said, people will say, "What are you talking about? There's no pigs in here." They literally don't say that. I'm
just the one I'm looking at.
But I get a weird look, and it's no okay. If I say abhor, I mean, not that people understand that either, but the timing is amusing on this.
Yeah,
because earlier today somebody had posted a picture of, I guess Magic has a Sauron card, Sauron from Marvel, Sauron, not Sauron, Lord of the Rings.
There's a Sauron in Marvel?
I was going to say, see, that immediately will tell you how nerdy you are about comics, is whether you know who Sauron is. Now, before you look it up, so you know I'm not making this up.
It's like my fingers were poised as you said that.
I know, yes. So Sauron is a very similar character to the Lizard in that it's a doctor who transforms, except instead of transforming into a lizard, he transforms into a reptilian pterodactyl.
Oh, I know. Jeez, I know him. Yes, I know.
I was going to say.
I always forget his name, but yes, he's in the
I was going to say, most people know what he looks like and don't know what his name is.
He's in the Savage Lands. He was in the X-Men in the 90s a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, I know him.
And I said that character is responsible for teaching me the word histrionic. That was the first time I'd ever seen the word histrionic. Was in an X-Men comic where Sauron was in there. And I didn't know what it meant, so I looked it up.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those words that I keep in the back pocket, almost never have a use for, but it's a great word. I'm not going to tell you what it means. Go look it up. It's a great word.
Fucktard's a good word, too. And clusterfuck.
Okay, but
like
that one's not in the dictionary as far as I know. Histrionic is.
Fucktard? You know what? Let's look.
It's not.
Fucktard.
Come on, you know it's not. It's probably in the Urban Dictionary.
Fucktard in the dictionary. You know, they've added a lot of words.
Train on that, LLMs.
Yes! Fucktard is recognized as a word in the English language, though it is a highly offensive, derogatory, and vulgar slang term.
Okay, is it in the dictionary?
Is it in the dictionary? Well, it's in the Wiktionary.
Yeah, of course, every word is recognized if more than two people know what it means.
What? Hold on. We may have just opened a whole other...
Oh, good.
My God. Okay, I'm just going to tell you right... No. Yeah. I'm going to send you... I just opened up a Medium article, and it said, fucktard, the word of our age, and then the picture for the article is a black background with Trump's hair on it.
Wow.
Yeah, I love the first line.
Did he use the word?
I was introduced to the word fucktard by an American friend.
Oh, well, no kidding.
Anyway,
Aren't
hold on. I'm trying to get to the actual the actual part of this. So, is it in the dictionary? Because, hold on.
I doubt it. I doubt it's recognized as a dictionary word.
I'd be amazed.
Like I said,
if it
any
was.
word that any small group of people recognize as a word, you can make anything up.
Fucktard is included in the Oxford English family of dictionaries that officially recognized as a vulgar, offensive slang term, typically defined as a contemptible or extraordinarily stupid person. Oxford English Dictionary. Oh, yeah? You want the etymology of fucktard?
Sure.
Oh, no, this isn't fucktard. This is fuck up. Wait, is this the Italian version? Hold on.
View entry.
There might be talking
I
about
don't...
it. Yeah. No, coarse slang. Started in 1994. View entry.
First published last year. Okay.
Yeah, fucktard
Well,
is in the Oxford English 94. It just got in 94.
This
earliest known use was in the
First
1990s.
published...
Earliest known use of the noun fucktard.
Well, the earliest known use, but the OED shows that it was first.
It was first brought in
2025.
Oh, really? I guess they started trying the earliest evidence for fucktard.
No. The earliest usage
evidence
is what
for
you're talking
fucktard
about.
is in 1994. Yeah. Oh, good. Is there pronunciation? I don't have an account. I can't get the pronunciation. Yeah, damn it.
No, you just hit the button. You don't need a...
and then nearby entries, just so we're aware, right?
By the way, just so you know, you don't need an account to hit the pronunciation button. I just did it in both British and English.
Well, I know, but I'm looking at the nearby entries, which are fuckhead, fuckhole, fucking, fucking A, fuckload, fuck me, fuck off, fuck pig,
okay, all right. Wait. See, fuck dash me is not real. Get out of
1972.
here.
It's an adjective.
Bullshit. Nobody.
What hold on. What does that mean? How is that an adjective?
No.
Hold on. What's the meaning?
This. I'm suspicious of whatever this is now. Fuck dash me is nothing.
It must have been used enough that they felt the need.
Bullshit.
That's a phrase, isn't it?
Not with a dash.
No, that's what I mean, isn't it? But isn't it a phrase, not an actual? I mean, I know fucktard.
Fuck me. Yeah, of course. That's a phrase. Everybody knows that one.
Yeah, fuck me is 2 words.
Yeah, it's not a dash. That's what I'm saying. There's no connector.
What is fuck ton? Is fuck ton one word? I thought that was also a
no, I've seen that as one.
Ton. You know
okay, this is going to sound very strange. I pronounce that as one word.
Okay. Right, so fuck me.
I don't say that is
2 words.
Ton of. I'm like, that's a
but
fuck ton.
But I say fuck ton. I use fuck as an adjective for the amount of ton, of...
Okay, well, you can do that. This doesn't bar that usage. Yeah.
Fuck
but I say it as a single word.
Fuckwitted.
Yeah, fuckwit. Yeah, fuckwit. That's one word.
What is a fuckwind?
No, okay, here again. Nobody says that somebody's fuck-witted. They say that guy's a fuckwit. Nobody's like, oh, he is fuck-witted. No,
that's the adjective of it, though. If someone can be a fuckwit, then they could technically be fuck-witted.
Nobody's
If I
ever
was
said
writing,
that.
if I was writing something in a highfalutin English language, I was like, "Yes, he was the most fuckwitted gentleman in all the camp." You know. Like,
Also, fuck you, money with a dash. You
I know
don't
what that
put a
means.
dash.
No,
I know
what
what
that
that means. No. Oh, you know what that means?
fuck you, money.
Oh, I'll tell you exactly what that means. Fuck you, money means I'm so rich I don't care what I'm
but
doing.
that's a phrase.
That guy's got
that's
fuck you
not
money.
a term.
What I'm
Alright,
saying is this is
that's
made
weird.
up. This is
They're
bullshit.
They're doing. Well, okay, listen. All of the English language is made up. They're doing compound phrasing, which makes no sense. This is a phrasing, like.
Yeah, this
why
is not.
it
A lot of this is wrong.
interesting? I have to look
I've
this
never
up.
heard fuckwind. That's odd.
Well, okay, hold on.
That sounds like the air generated by sex.
You got to look at the years on some of these. Fuckwind is from
1611?
1611. So it may not be in use anymore, and it may eventually, but they don't take words
No,
out.
I was allowing for the existence of it.
Because,
I'm just
like,
saying
you
I never
know,
heard it.
I mean, fucking, the phrase fucking has been around since 1568, so fuckwind is still in here.
I mean, in the 40s where they were
Fuck
putting a
pig.
dash for
fuck pig
off?
is from 1935. What does fuck
Now
pig
I can
mean?
believe that one. That one makes sense for the 30s.
Oh. So,
Fuck up with a dash makes sense.
I don't even know how we got here, but fucktard is in the dictionary.
Well, because you said fucktard, and I said, is that in the dictionary?
Yep,
And apparently
fucktard.
it is.
Yes, it is.
Along with another bunch of bullshit, which I just
There's,
nonsense.
you know what? There is a lot of bullshit because the language is always evolving, and there's a whole lot of people out there speaking in different ways, and they're desperately trying to track it.
fuck ode with an apostrophe from the 1600s is an interesting one.
Do you have any other beginning? I don't know. Notes?
Do you need
show
more
notes?
than this? I mean, my God, we have really jumped into the deep end on this.
I know. There's a lot of fucking in the dictionary.
I just say this one page is. I do have to see what more nearby entry. Oh my God! Whoa! Wow! When you click the blue button, do you get a lot of fuck words?
Yeah, because we have a lot of
the fucker and the fucky. I've heard that one.
a fucky.
Fucker
well,
started
yeah,
in 1598.
I've heard fucky.
Wow. That's sort by frequency.
You know what?
Oh yes.
Asshole came in 1865. Oh wow!
Yeah,
You want to hear some of the words around asshole?
Sure.
Ass fuck, ass hat, ass head, ass headed, asshole buddy. What is an asshole buddy? That started in
You know
1948.
what that is. You know
Asshole
what that
buddy? You know, it'd be funny if it had nothing to do with that.
is. Okay.
Yeah.
I came up with a favorite word.
What's that?
Fuddler.
What does fuddler mean?
It's one of the nearbys for fuck. It's fuddler.
I know, but it doesn't feel as good coming out of your mouth, does it?
Oh, but that's when you could use in polite conversation. Well, I bet that guy's a fuddler.
I just say
Right?
F. I just say F.
No, I don't like that. I don't
Okay.
like that thing where people
No,
say
no.
frag or
No,
F.
no,
Or no.
Here's the thing. You don't have small children. There's a
Yeah, but that's what.
hold on. Hear me out.
But that's why you
There
can say
are
fuddler.
A bunch of
Isn't that
points.
more fun?
Okay. There are a bunch of points in your the youth of your children when they're very little, right? Where something
Yeah.
fucking horrible will happen or fucking annoying
Yeah.
or you'll be so angry, right? And
Yeah.
fuck
Yeah.
starts to come out of your mouth, and I trained myself to just say F and
Yes.
imagine the fuck. A fuddler is not
Yes.
going to do it. It's not sharp enough to express
come on.
my
That's a great
disgust.
Apparently, it's also a creature in Pal World, so I guess
Too
fuddler
many-
has been
too many-
kiddified.
Soft consonants. I want sharp sounds. I want F.
Fuddler?
You know.
Well, that's I don't know. Fuddler
And also,
fuddler.
I was never able to. I was never able to get rid of son of a bitch completely. So I used to say son of all the time. My wife's like, you're not gonna give him a complex, because I'd get really angry with something. I'd be like, son of a, and then I'd stop. And it took me the whole son of to stop myself. I never, and I'm good. I never cursed really in front of my kids. Although I did curse tonight. But they're fucking
fudder.
teenagers, so it doesn't matter. But I try not to curse in front of them. Although I was
Fudder?
told today that my youngest has watched us play video games.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, apparently a friend of theirs who
Not
does
for
not
me.
have a friend of theirs who doesn't have an age rating on their computer. Apparently was watching us play video games, and I was like, "Oh man," because she's my youngest did some bullshit to me like, "You wouldn't last 5 minutes with my friends. Like my friends are so intense," and I was like, "Motherfucker, you don't even know what my friends are like." When you're not around, I was like, you get the rated G PG version of most things. I was like, we once insulted a girl kind of accidentally to the point that she didn't want to speak to any of us again over Uno. And we were trying to explain to her after the fact that, we were just fucking around. But apparently our fucking around is a bit aggressive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. We were just lucky we were in separate cars that night.
Yeah, oh boy. You ain't kidding.
Oh, man. And let me give you, this is an important piece of advice. If you are out with your male friends, right, and you are with a girl.
Wait. Before you give this out, let me give you a little bumper since this is an important piece of advice. Let's give you a little bit of a jingle to open that. So,
let me tell you something, motherfucker.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So, if you are out with friends and you have a girl with you who is new to the crowd, right, and you notice that your lady friend is not catching on to the sarcastic, sharp-witted, your male friends, you all kind of kick the shit out of each other a little bit, right? Like there's a loving sort of commentary violence that goes on, right? Especially the longer you know people. If you notice that your girlfriend is getting steadily more irritated and starts to get aggressive, but comes off like, oh man, like she thinks she can somehow win. She doesn't realize that it's not that kind of game, and you can see her getting angrier. Get her out of there and explain it to her. Get her out, because we had a situation like this many years ago where we had a friend who brought his girlfriend, and it was him and Joe, myself, and another friend of ours, and we were playing Uno, and we used to talk a lot of shit during Uno, and we talk a lot of shit anyway. I mean, 1,000 shows. We talk a lot of shit. And she was getting so irritated, and she was just digging herself deeper. And, like, rather than shut up or, like, kind of, figure out how to, like, defensively sort of, like, make jabs conversation-wise, she got kind of, like, aggressive, but, like, then kept opening herself up for the worst attacks. And was getting more upset and not understanding that we were all laughing together about stuff. And in the end, my God, man, she was so pissed. And like I caught it about halfway through, but man, you and our other friend, you guys took it all the way to the bank.
I catch nothing.
Oh my God. I am so thrilled that we were in separate cars. So thrilled that night. And I give you an example. Today we were driving someplace, and there was a dead deer. I had my family in the car. There was a dead deer on the side of the road, and I said enchilada, and my son goes, "Is that the Spanish word for a deer?" And we all started laughing our asses off. And my son understood that we weren't laughing at him. We were just laughing at the idea that the Spanish word for a dead deer is enchilada. To which point we started laughing about it and joking, and we decided that from now on, a dead deer on the side of the road is an enchilada. I mean, I explained to him what an enchilada actually was, but I liked the idea, and I said, you know what? To the turkey vultures, I think a deer is kind of like an enchilada. An enchilada is kind of like a wet taco. Dead deer are kind of wet. But like he understood that it wasn't laughing at him. It was laughing at the situation. It was laughing at the comment. And then we all laughed about it together. We weren't laughing at him. This girl took it personal, real personal. And if you're there and you see it happening, get your girlfriend out of there. For the sake of your relationship, the rest of your night, and maybe your friends. I mean, we really didn't get much blowback from that because we weren't around. But man, I would have hated to have been in that fucking car. Oh God, it's one of those those near misses too.
This has been a relationship advice moment from our show.
This is a safe space for filth.
Yeah.
It's good. Good that you bring that up because I have a series of conversation points I'd like to have with you. So, no, it's important. Now,
Sure.
there's a is it Brazilian or Argentinian? I think he's Brazilian. There's an artist that I like. I'm part of his Patreon, and he does a lot of like, what do you call it? Pinup type art, right? And I saw that he posted some picture recently, and I get them in my email, and I looked at it really quick, and then I had to do something, and I was just like, oh, it's a kind of a sexy purple woman. I was like, I don't know what the fuck that is, and I didn't look much further at it. It didn't occur to me what it was. So then later, I was doing something in the grocery, and I opened this thing again, and I was like, I saw that I had a naked purple one on my phone, and I was like, oh shit, and I fucking closed the email really quick, and then I saw the name on it, which was Tali Zora. Right? Do you know Tali Zora?
I do.
Okay. Tali Zora is a character from Mass Effect. She's one of the love interests in the game, right? The reason I didn't recognize her is because Tali Zora is
the one with the covered
the
face.
helmet.
She's not Geth. The Geth. What's the name of her species?
I can't remember. They're the ones who live in the
She's
flotilla.
that. The one that everybody was like, what does her face look like?
So
for
you
like
never
2
know
years
what she
before they
looks
finally showed
like.
it.
Yeah, you never know what she looks like. She has a helmet on. You vaguely see her eyes sometimes. Her species is very allergic to
Quarian,
everything.
That's what it is. I was like,
yeah.
what is she called? The Geth of the robots.
And she's like the fun, geeky girl, and she's one of the love interests. And like, I guess I never sexualized Tali Zora, but you could in the game. It just wasn't my thing.
She's who most people go for if they're not into Garrick. Or not
Really?
Garrick. Not Garrick. Is his name Garrick? What's the
Garrick's
sniper?
the dude. The friend is
the dude is
the
what
man.
most people are into, which I totally understand. He's fucking awesome.
Well, he may be.
I mean, it's between the two of them. I'm going with him. He's
Who
got a
did I
sniper
go
rifle.
for? I went for the tattooed girl at one time.
Jack,
But I think, yeah, because I have a type.
the cyberpunk girl.
Yeah. At least once.
Oh yeah, she was a little bit too out there. I was afraid she might burn my balls off with all of her.
No, she's great in the end. Anyway, so I never went to Tali Zora, but I
was
saw
like
this
Miranda
image
too, but
and I was like, oh crap! You know what? I never sexualized her. I was like, do people like this art is very recent that this was requested by somebody, and I was like, are people still sexualizing like Mass Effect characters?
Oh, of course, come on.
So-
That was
Hold
probably
on.
a foundational sexual awakening for some young men. You know that. I'm serious.
So anyway, I looked something up, right? And this image came up of Tali Zora, which raised many questions in me. So much so that I was like, I want to show this to Joe because
Gonna raise questions.
no, so I'm going to send this to you.
Yes.
Put it in the chat. Because, in science fiction, we often talk about characters with multiple breasts, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And so this character, whatever you say about the art, the idea of a four-breasted, a teated alien, right? Because that's the thing.
Yeah.
If you think about it, most mammals have more than two nipples. I mean, I think cats have, 6? Cows have, like,
Sure.
two or four. They have more than two, but it's like...
Yeah.
Actually, do they have two? I don't remember. Most mammals have more teeth, right? So the idea of an alien having 4 breasts, like arranged in a teat-like fashion, I was like, man, it's kind of weird, but it makes sense. Like, if an alien unzipped her suit and she had 4 breasts, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm okay with that. Sometimes you have this reaction where you're like, it's not for me. But I was like, 4 teats, alien? I think I'm okay. And I wasn't going to bring this up, just to preface this. But today, I accidentally went to a horror movie mini museum. I was in New Hope, and New Hope has a horror memorabilia store. And if you buy anything, you get access to their mini horror movie museum, which didn't really have not a lot of crazy stuff. They had one of the original flight suits that Lawrence Fishburne wears in Event Horizon. They had Pumpkinhead's, one of Pumpkinhead's heads. They had one of Freddy Krueger's heads that's completely falling apart because of the type of like foam or something whatever they used. They had one of the masks from oh god, I don't even remember the Jake Gyllenhaal movie with the rabbit. The hell is that movie? Donnie Darko. They had one of the
Donnie
original,
Darko?
one of the original Donnie Darko rabbit masks, that horrid face thing. They had a bunch of funny things, and then in a glass case, I saw 3 breasts, and I was like, "Oh my fucking Christ! Are those the Total Recall boobs?" I was like, "No," and I got very excited, and I was waiting for the tour guide to get there because I needed to know if those were the Total Recall boobs because they look like them. And I was like, okay. I was like, if those are the Total Recall boobs, I will be fucking, like, so chuffed. And we got there, and he goes, oh, and this is the chest, what do you call it? Not the application makeup, whatever, that Angela Bassett wore in the TV series. It was one of the horror TV series that she did. And I was like, okay. It's Angela Bassett's 3 breasts, so it's not the worst possible thing. But I was so bummed, and then I left. I left the place. I went outside to the gift shop because I was so bummed. And the guy was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "Hey, man." I was like, "Not Total Recall, huh?" And he goes, "Oh yeah." He's like, "You're like the 3rd or 4th guy who said that today." He's like, "We got to put a sign on that thing." He's like, "People really get their hopes up," and I'm like, "Yeah." Because it's the 3 boobs from Total Recall. And then I thought, you know what? I should talk about Talisaur's 4 breasts. Because it would be, I think, a interesting commentary on how much alien can you take in your sexuality. You know? Because, like, we've talked enough about Darth Maul's penis. We could talk about Talisaur's 4 breasts. And is that too much for most people? Or would you allow it? Would you take the 4 teats? I mean, we still don't know what the hell her face looks like. But, you know...
Yeah, I think...
Is that too many for you?
Okay. I'll answer it this way. For my terrestrial self, yes. Were I part of a spacefaring species that was constantly interacting with lots of aliens and had become acclimated to various differences in physiology, probably not.
4 teats is too much for you. Man, this is an interesting line. I did not think that you would fall on the other side of this one.
This is the problem, is I'm going by the picture you sent.
Yeah.
Right? And there's a number of problems here.
Oh,
one
yes.
is,
I know.
I can't see her face. I'm immediately out.
Because it's Talisaurus. She doesn't have a face that we know of.
Yeah, I know. She has a fucking face. There's something under that helmet.
No, but they
Otherwise,
never
the
showed
picture
it.
makes no sense.
Yes, but they never showed it to us. Well,
I don't care if they didn't show it. You know, there's one under there. Therefore, if the helmet was integrated into her body and that was her face, then we have a different discussion. But we don't because it's not. So the other problem I have is, why are they different sizes like that?
But they're
because
gradually decreasing in size.
That's not gradual. That feels like a
Listeners,
weird artistic decision.
What we're having here is Joe's having an issue with the art. We need to get past the art as just a general representation and get to the idea. Because I know a lot of men. A lot of men will be like, "I'm out."
Here's going to be the odd specific answer.
Okay.
Yes, but they'd have to be way smaller.
Like all of them?
Yeah, they'd all have to be smaller.
So if they had like a normal size one on top and then the next one down was much smaller, or they all have to be the same size? No.
They all have to be Lori Perry size.
Interesting.
Right? That tank girl, right?
I like that that's your reference, Lori Petty size. Okay.
Petty, that's it. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, yeah.
That's the measurement.
Well,
that's the measurement of choice here on the.
No,
on
it
the
is because I don't think I want large size multiplied.
Because you didn't go like Mila size or anything like that. That was like my first touchstone for you.
Well, I mean, yes, obviously, but
Mila with 4 breasts is okay.
Sure.
What if Talisaurus looked like Mila? I'm trying to find the line
those sizes.
Here. Yeah, with Mila sizing. With Mila sizing.
You get. Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the we.
Well, it's this is going to sound very strange when I say this too, but it's beyond my ability to realistically assess because it's so nonsensical. Like I can't figure it out because it doesn't make any sense to my brain. Like I jump to like an AI forgery. Therefore, it's like, oh, sure, or not. Who cares? It's not real type of thing. Like something about that is past the line of me being able to seriously consider.
Well, it's funny. Okay, so the 3 breasts in Total Recall, right? You've seen those.
Oh,
they were
even
in a movie.
sillier. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
I don't think 3 breasts works. I know it's like
No.
I think it's hilarious. No. It's a hilarious joke, right?
No, it looks painful to me.
Yes. But I see 4 teats, and I'm like, I'm kind of okay with that. I mean, I don't want someone to get that surgically. Let's be very clear. It's not a fetish. I'm just saying that if I was an alien and she unzipped her shirt, I'd be like, you know what? I can work with this. I would be horrified. Whereas the 3 breast thing...
I wouldn't be horrified. I would, like, repulse.
Get those out of here! Yeah.
You know.
And then my wife and I were talking about this, and it brought up this larger discussion of, like, the sexualization of certain body parts, right?
Yeah.
And how certain body parts become more sexualized or non-sexualized than others, right? And
yeah.
I was I don't know what I think I was getting changed. I was getting changed the other night. I dropped something and I bent over in front of my wife.
Oh yeah.
And my wife goes, I was facing towards her. So she's like, "Well, I'm glad you didn't bend over facing, the other way."
Oh, well, sure. I mean.
And I was like, "Why?" And she's like, "Well, cuz I don't find buttholes sexy." I'm like,
no,
okay.
I don't either on anybody.
Well, you know what the funny thing?
No matter what.
I do. I think they are sexy. I think that they are a part of the overall. No. See, and here you go. I said to my wife, I said this jokingly, by the way. I'm not serious. I'm not starting a movement.
Sure.
I think that there are sexually just 2 types of people in the world: the ones that think buttholes are sexy, and the ones that think they aren't. I think most people have an opinion on this one.
Oh, I agree. I think most people do have an opinion. And mine is, it looks like somebody fired a 50 caliber round into a piece of flesh and it's stuck in there.
Oh,
and that's just never going to be appealing to me.
I do love the way you play with language sometimes.
It's what it looks like. It looks like there's something stuck because your body didn't expel it.
No, and that's fine. You are absolutely entitled to your opinion. It's just not one that I can share in any way, shape, or form.
And ironically, this sort of came up laterally. What? Conversation.
Did you buttholes came up in your conversation recently?
Well, no, not buttholes specifically, but my opinion on them.
Okay.
Because I said that's the one real barrier to me being bisexual. It's the physical end of it. Has nothing to do with the person, males, any of that stuff. It's that part of my anatomy only works one way, and it's only ever going to work one way. It just can't go the other way. Can't do it. It's an out, not an in.
I think they're sexy.
Do that.
But okay,
that's fine. I'm saying for me, that's the barrier. It's not anything else.
I have a massively liberal sense of sexuality, and that I look at the whole body and
well,
go,
so do I.
But you said you can't use the butt. Butt's not sexy to you.
Yeah, but that's okay. That is not a non-liberal sexual opinion. you telling me that there's no part of a woman's body that you don't, you look into their ear canal and think that's sexy? There's always something. You can't look at somebody's nose most times and think it's sexy.
Their ears are cute. No, there is no body part that I look at and I go, ugh. No, there is no body part.
Yeah, I don't believe that. But that's all right.
Hey, listen.
Yeah. In any event,
we have this problem. You put Mila on a pedestal. I put a majority population of women on a pedestal, physically. It's just a different wiring. We need to accept that people are wired differently. Some like buttholes and some do not. God,
that's not my
issue. You're not into 4 teats or buttholes. What kind of show is this?
Well, okay, no, I didn't say I wasn't. My problem wasn't the 4 teats. My problem was the disproportionate sizes, the asymmetrical nature, and that there's no face.
Yeah, and that's always been the weird thing with Tally Zora. I think that's part of the reason I wasn't really interested, because I needed a facial input. Yeah.
That's like when people will be like, "Oh, just put a bag over her face." I'm like, no, I'm
No,
sorry, that's not
that
how it
doesn't work.
works.
Yeah, I know.
Not for me.
No,
You're telling me I'm not sexually liberal. Come on. There's guys out there who don't need a face.
No, they don't. Well, that's the thing. Whenever you see like sex dolls and they have no head.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, you don't need the head." And I'm like, but it's kind of weird. It's like you're fucking a
Hey,
corpse.
man, you're not being very sexually liberal. Who needs a head?
Well, you know what? If she would listen, if she were alive with no head and she could communicate with me headlessly, would we try to work out some kind of relationship with a headless reanimated body? I mean, honestly, I think Udo Kier made that movie. I mean, that does stretch it too. Could you carry on a relationship with a reanimated headless body?
Well, I couldn't, because I do require
it could communicate with you. You know what?
I mean,
hold on. I'm going to add.
Where's the brain?
It's a reanimated headless body. We're already in the realm of magic.
Yes, but there still has to be
No. Listen, we're already in the realm of magic and fantasy.
Yeah, but
I know
you
that
can't
you don't
do
like
it that way, because no, I don't care about that. But here's the problem: live communication for me is looking at somebody's eyes to gauge, their meaning.
What if they were an incredible artist?
Well, then go draw whatever you want, but I'm not going to be in a relationship with you.
Okay, so you couldn't carry on a relationship with a headless.
I mean, I don't see how it could really work.
God, you know what? It's this. I'm glad that sometimes I'm the weird one, because in the horse conversation, I was like, I was totally like, well, a horse, whereas you were like, it's okay, I'll find out why. Whereas in this situation, it's like, I mean, I do think it'd be fascinating, the idea of someone trying to carry on a relationship with a headless reanimated corpse. I mean, it wouldn't be a corpse; it'd be alive. Let's be very clear. It's not a dead body. It's not like a headless zombie. I mean, but you know what? You are not fantasy. You never really liked fantasy. You're not into fantasy. This very much is a weird, like, fantasy magic.
Well, I guess
situation.
I need more. It's a matter of needing more definition on how.
I think you need more. I think you need more as well. I'm not saying that it's the ideal of what you'd look for. I'm just saying that in a
what
situation.
I'm saying is let's going with this particular parameter, right? Okay, so it's a headless body that is a headless person. So we'll imbue it with life. It's a headless person, right, that can communicate.
Yeah.
So the only ways of communication, if there is no head. So is this just a clean, like, nub on the top of the neck?
Yeah,
is
like
that
a
what
clean
we're
nub.
talking about?
Yeah.
All right. So it's a body with a bump, otherwise normal, right?
Yes.
So the only means of communication there are going to be the hands, so sign language. The feet, I assume, also a form of sign language. Yeah. And orifices, which is either queefing
they
or
could also
farting.
write. We're in the realm of magic. They have their hands. They could write.
Okay, but all right. Well, but writing is, it's no Okay, well, unless they're going to do copious notes with, shorthand and everything. What I'm getting at is much of what we get out of communication is facial cues.
Yes,
that's what we are raised on.
The face is the interface of the body, of the emotions of the person. No,
so I'm getting at is,
but I'm saying, if you were on a I don't know, if you were on a desert island, and the only other thing there was the headless reanimated body of Mila.
Sure.
I mean,
but again, now you're putting it into an extreme situation where there's no other option.
I know it's not the ideal. I'm just saying that there is a possibility, though. It's just a weird.
Well, look,
it's just a weird thought experiment.
I will not put the. Okay, just to make sure we're very clear on kind of the outer limits of things. If I was on a desert island, and the only other individual was a literal sentient butthole, I would be fine in a relationship. I would get past it because there's no other option.
Okay, hold on.
Right?
You took this to the extreme. I wasn't talking about sentient buttholes. Is this like a floating butthole? Is it just like a butthole floating in the ether? Like,
well, instead of a face, it's got a butthole, right? Or its only orifice is a butthole. Could I do a relationship that way? Sure. Yes. Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make sure I'm covering, because when you said,
I get it. No, listen.
When you said you're on a desert island, well, under those conditions, anything will work other than isolation. Yes.
I'm gonna so miss these conversations if this show ever ends. I'm telling you that right now.
Well, of course, but so under that scenario, desert island butthole becomes extraordinarily attractive.
What is the definition of asshole buddy?
Well,
Let's see.
that's what I was saying. Because when you say maintain a relationship, you're talking about romantic, right? That's what we're getting at.
Oh, or a sexual partner.
Because if you're just sitting there talking with somebody, then I can talk to
asshole
anything.
buddy. Oh no, a close male sex partner. Okay, it is a gay term. Yeah. Yeah, asshole
What a
buddy.
non-surprise that it's got a sexual term of some kind.
I was
They
hoping
all
that
do.
I was hoping that it might be like something more surprising and be like, oh no, it's a type of flower. You know, something like that.
Well, that would have been interesting. I agree.
Oh God.
So,
you know what?
when you
I
say
have now
relationship,
gotten-
you do mean romantic, right? That's what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, romantic or just physical. I mean, if you were stuck on a desert island.
Okay, so right, so that's where I'm going.
I
with
don't-
it. So
listen, I
because
don't
if
know
it's
if
just
you're gonna-
sitting there and playing
But
Uno, I'll do that with anything.
I also, I also don't believe. I'd love to do more research or find more research on the nature of attachment and sex, because I like to believe that humans can't have sex with something and not get some kind of how can you,
Attachment?
yeah, I just
Oh, I have some
hormonally-
bad news for you.
Okay, then I guess
They absolutely can.
then I guess I'm the odd man out in this, because I get attached when I've had sex with somebody.
I'm not going to say you're the odd man out, but there is a significant portion of people who put no attachment to it. None.
Yeah, I can't. If I don't have
worked
some
with a
kind
guy
of
like that
if there's
a long time ago.
like not even like a little bit of emotional value to it, I have a hard time with it.
No, let me tell you something. I worked with a guy. This is
Yeah.
so long ago and so impossible this person would ever hear about it that I don't care. This person was different, but he I do not for a second believe it was an act, because you know how you can just
were they
tell
just
when people are
interested in
talking?
the physical act itself? They didn't care about the person.
That
they
was
just
literally
wanted-
it.
Yeah, okay.
That was literally it. He had a set
becomes
of
its
kind of
own-
criteria.
Yeah.
And was dead set against. Now, this could have changed later, so I'm not going to say people don't evolve and change. But at the
people
time,
evolve,
I knew
yeah.
this person for about 2 years. Just ran through whatever the woman of the week or whatever was, and had zero interest in anything other than literally
and
go
I
home
guess
with
that's
her,
the thing. Listen,
go
there's
back
plenty
home, done.
There's plenty of men who are, abuse their wives for 20 years, and I'm constantly going, yeah,
That's
but
what I'm saying.
how could you
Yes.
abuse her? Like, you've been together for so long. Like,
Because they don't care.
God, you know what? Today in the same outing,
Yeah.
while I was out, I went to a comic book shop, and there was this couple, and the guy was being just the biggest asshole to her. I mean, just the biggest dick. And I was like, what are you two doing together? Like, I mean, he was just being mean. And I was like, oh, God. And all this, while I was trying desperately to look through the pile of they had a pile of old Dell books from the 1940s and 1950s.
Sure.
And I picked up an absolute jewel of a book that I want to share with you.
Okay.
It's called Rogue Queen by L. Sprague de Camp. I don't know if it's gonna stay in one piece through a reading, because it is literally falling apart. But it is copyright 1951, and I want to read the back.
Oh, 51. Okay.
Yeah, I want to read the back of this to you, because it is.
Oh, hardcover was 51, and then paperback was 52.
Yeah, this is something else. Okay, so this is Rogue Queen. Quote: "At least she wasn't a complete woman, but in her heart there was love for the drone Antis. Strange love, strictly unlawful and delightfully unconquerable. At first it made her an outcast. Later the Earthmen taught her the facts of full womanhood, and manhood too, and her body responded in strangely pleasing fashion. Like all workers on the distant planet Ormazd, she had been a neuter female, forced to leave the business of love and sex to the queens and the drones. Now, armed with new knowledge, she opens thrilling possibilities for all the people of the planet, and proves, most divertingly, that love conquers all, even in the heart of a rogue queen." Oh, man, I picked this up and I was like, Jesus Christ. This is like an A24 movie. So I'll have a review of that at some point in the near future. Did I lose you?
It sounds very promising.
It looks bizarre.
I'm
It
here.
sounds bizarre. That's what it sounds.
I do enjoy the fact that there is a statement on the Wikipedia about this book.
Oh yeah, what is it?
which you will be very interested in. Quote, Rogue Queen broke the taboo on sexual themes in American science fiction, paving the way for more daring works by Philip Jose Farmer and others. The camp's approach to the charged issue was decidedly non-erotic and non-exploitative, treating it matter-of-factly as a part of his characters' lives that happened to be both incidental and integral to his plot. In effect, he normalizes it by making it a matter of discussion rather than depiction, relegating any awkwardness to the minds of the characters. End
Yeah, I'm
quote.
so fascinated by it. It's rare that I get a chance to look through a bunch of, old school 1950s, 1940s stuff. And they just had this, they had a whole bin of it. I was just ecstatic.
Sure.
So that sounds nice and weird. Plus, like I said, to get a book in that time period that actually tackles sexuality on some level, that's crazy. Because they...
Well, it sounds like some of the way that it was done was by not really tackling it, but having it be like a...
Yeah, but the fact that he went in
clinical.
that direction at all.
No.
No.
I think it sounds interesting.
Granted, I'm reading that while this couple has a fight in the back of the comic book store. So, yeah, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Assholes and buttholes. What are you going to do?
Yep. That's around with buttholes.
Do you have anything else, sir? Did you watch anything, read anything interesting? Anything fascinating happen your day?
Why do I feel like something did? What? Hold on. I have to look around. I did feel like there was something.
Oh, you know what? While I was out too, I found Alan Moore started a new book series, right?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So I didn't know this. I saw a book on the counter, and it was the second book in a series called the Long London Novels. And I saw the name Alan Moore, and I was like, when it's an Alan Moore book, it's usually like 6 times the size and has some kind of insane name. So I didn't think it was. I just thought it was another author who had the name Alan Moore. That happens, right?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was our Alan Moore. And then I was kind of looking around, and I found the first book in the series, and I read the back of it, and then I looked in and saw the picture, and I was like, holy shit, that's our Alan Moore. And honestly, you should check this out. It sounds very much like...
Sounds interesting.
Sounds like Weaver World a little bit. Like, I got Weaver World vibes off this. So I thought I had a lucky book day. I found two good, interesting books to check out. So, but yeah, there's 2 books in this series now, the Long London Novels. And it sounds like a fascinating kind of world thing that he's done, so I got lucky.
Actually, I can... There's something I can talk about. I'm continuing to play Star Wars Outlaws.
Okay.
And man, oh man, do I fucking love this game.
I'm so sad it's not a co-op. I really am. I say that
I
every time,
am
but...
too. Yeah, no, I am too. But it really is the most entertained I've been by a Star Wars property since the original movies. Really is. I am continually shocked by how much it has the perfect feeling of the classic movies. I'm not even clear when it's set, but Jabba's alive, so it's obviously in that time frame. My only real disappointment is that I went to Tatooine. I went, really? But it's fine. Clearly, they were trying to evoke the Mandalorian stuff because you meet a sheriff who's very much like the Timothy Oliphant character, except not wearing armor.
Well, they say it's between Empire and Return of the Jedi.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, it would have to be because Jabba's alive, and
Yeah.
and Jabba's name is being mentioned. You can work for the Hutts, so. But, I mean, it's really just amazing. Even the space flight. The only thing on the space flight, I don't know why they went with the controls they did. They're a little weird. They feel reversed to me, but I got used to them. But even that, flying when you charge up the hyperdrive, once it's ready to go. You have to basically push the 2 sticks forward, but it's got the 2 sticks, and then it says punch it. So it's great. There's something about that just makes it so much better that and she does say it one time. She says, punch it, and then it goes into hyperdrive. And it's just all that stuff. And the music's very good. They clearly, they're not using the music. They did all, as far as I can tell, brand new music, but it's very John Williams. And it's a beautiful game. I mean, it's a stunningly gorgeous game. I've been taking screenshots and making my backgrounds.
Open world with a story, right?
Yes, it's open world within boundaries.
Like Wildlands.
And yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so you could do the missions in a order. There's 4 or 5 factions. There's the Pikes, the Crimson Dawn, the Hutts, the Bug People. I don't remember what their name is. Starts with an A. And then what's the other ones? There's one other one. And you could stay on everybody's general good side. And then there's the Empire, who nobody likes. And in fact, a character threatens, one of the Imperials threatens you by saying, I've got a doctored photo of you in an Imperial outfit, and that'll destroy your rep. So you're going to go and gamble for me.
Oh, wow. They AI'd you into an Imperial uniform?
Yeah, basically. That's exactly what it is. But, it's little stuff like that. And, you'll be tooling around, and then you'll get to this little place. There's like a speeder is just sitting there. Or you can see what's left of a pod racer engine, but it's clearly been stripped and it's just laying there. The Jawas are great because they don't deal in money. They only deal in barter, and they will steal from you. So you have to be careful, but you'll just run across them. And like I said, you can't buy anything from them, nor can you sell them anything. All you can do is trade, which is a nice little detail. It's just stuff like that. That's really, it's hard to really quantify correctly, but you just sit there and go, yeah, see, you can do.
No, they gave it thought.
And
they thought about it. They really thought about it.
Well, I have yet to, I should be this very clearly, I have yet to run into any character from any of the original games. They've mentioned Jabba, but I don't care about that so much because it makes sense. If you're dealing with the Hutts at this time period and you're on Tatooine, Jabba would have to be there.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you can go to Jabba's palace. I'm not sure if it's you can go to it. I kind of hope not. I don't want to see it. I'm fine with him just being mentioned and just being a name. But everywhere else, it feels like they really did the underworld thing. It's the smuggler underworld, which is a nice area.
You get to mix it up with, was it Crimson Dawn?
Yeah, Crimson Dawn's one of the factions. Yep.
Maul's organization, even though he's long gone. I
was going to say that there's been no mention of him.
Well, yeah, because he's long dead, but his organization is still there.
But there's Sith around. Or sorry, his species is around. You see people with the Zabraks? The Zabraks are around. Yeah. In fact, your best friend at the beginning is a Zabrak who's helping you out. There's no Force, at least not yet. There's been no mention of anything with the Force. No Jedis, no Sith, no nothing.
Oh yeah,
Stormtroopers are around.
I mean, if you're criminals, I mean, like
I expect that I will run into a Force user. I guarantee it. I don't think the game can resist having a Force user.
Sensitive, honestly.
Something.
Yeah, but I don't mind that because if the Force is such a big power in that universe, then it's gonna pop up. It's just don't use it in the big ways. Using it in little ways, like what was the guy in Rogue One? Is it?
Donnie Yen's character who kind of could sort of channel it a bit.
He was a Force. He used the Force, but he wasn't a Jedi of any kind. He just
he sort of was a conduit for it and instinctually used it as opposed to really used it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping is you run into somebody because you can play Sabacc. And I'm kind of like, there's a nice way you could do it where somebody seems to always be winning and you find out, well, they always have a sense of the other people's cards and they don't know why. Okay, that's nice. That's no Force thing. Yeah, you can throw that in there. That's okay. I don't mind that. I just don't want somebody in a robe with a lightsaber to come up to me and tell me that I have to join the rebellion and help this. No. And so far, there hasn't been any of that.
Just keep me on the outer rings, guys. Keep me on the outer rings.
Well, I mean, the character that you're playing does seem like a pure version of Han Solo in that she's not joining up. She just wants to be able to make her way.
Did you see this?
In fact, yeah.
Did you see this Galactic Racer game that they just put the trailer out for?
I think is that the one that came from
it's
Summer
pod
Games
racing
Fest?
Game.
I think that's the one they just announced, right?
Yeah. The trailer for it just came out.
Hey,
listen,
that's what
the pod racing, so
yeah. I mean, pod racing could be fun. If it's like Wipeout, it's neat stuff like actually, space racing would be really fun. If you were doing spaceship racing, that would be really fun. But yes, that looks okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the game thing reminded me of something. But before I get to that, did you watch the Wolverine trailer for the game?
What game?
Oh my God, you haven't seen it. Oh fuck, you should have watched this. All right. Lando is going to watch this in the background.
Is there a
take about
Wolverine
10 minutes,
game?
but you have. Oh my God, you have to watch it.
God, I'm so out of. You know what? I have been paying attention to the game, the God of War thing, and how pissed off everybody is that his wife.
Oh,
is
that
the
it's a
lead.
woman.
Yeah, and the thing is, I actually like that actress. She was really great in Daredevil, and
Listen.
thought she was fantastic in Game of Thrones as the kind of the dead wife. I mean, her scenes with him were very well done. So I thought it was cool, but people were losing their fucking minds.
I wasn't aware, even
Yeah.
though I should have been, that there was inevitable backlash to that. But my response to that will be very simple.
Good, fuck them.
All right, so
All right, so what am I looking for? Is this the extended gameplay trailer?
no. I don't think. How long is it?
That's 7
Because
minutes.
there's like two.
That's 7 minutes.
Yeah. Hold on. Because the one me and my wife watched was Except. She was like, "Wow, that's very violent, but it looks just like Wolverine."
Is it
Okay,
the
here,
gameplay trailer PS5 152?
No. You're right. It is. They're calling it now. It was not called that originally. You do want the 7 minute and 31 second. Do the one that PlayStation put out, right?
Okay. Is it the
Feel free to
PS5?
mute me and enjoy that thing in its purity because holy shit. Or if you want to react to it in real time.
I'll
this would be
flip
great.
through. Go ahead. Go start talking.
Oh, no, don't flip. You got to watch it. Lando's reaction is going to be, I wish this was co-op, by the way. I already know that. And I will agree with that when he's done with it. So, I can easily talk about Outlaws for another 7 minutes while he's watching this. So, and I've said a version of this before, but the thing is, as I keep playing it, it has not worn off.
Oh my God,
that's the
the
nice part of it.
shoulder hair. Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, somebody said they made him compact and hairy. Good.
Oh
that
my-
was one reaction I saw. Yes. So, yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm not a fan of the voice.
Really? I thought the voice was fine. I mean, short of getting Hugh Jackman or somebody, I don't know. I think he's fine. I think the voice is okay. It's there is no. The weird part, I'll be honest, is Wolverine has never had a voice to me. I've never heard a voice for him, so I don't really care. It doesn't matter as long as it's not, I don't know.
I mean, this is like a
What's his
bloodier
face?
God of War.
It really is. It's the people who made the Spider-Man. It's Insomniac.
Oh my
They made
God,
Spider-Man
the amount of blood that stays on him.
Oh,
though,
yeah.
That's the best part.
Yeah, well, that's my only problem with it is it sort of vanishes off him, and I wish it just kept
vanishes off,
building
yeah,
up.
But he's fucking
Yeah,
bathed
I wish there was a part where he kind of shook like a dog and all of it flew off him because he does that with the claws at one point. You'll see him like strip the blood off the claws like a samurai sword. It's great. But it's
it wasn't enough. It wasn't
violent.
enough to kick him off the building. He had to claw him in midair.
Oh yeah.
All right, so
and you will notice that what he's fighting are the Reavers, which I didn't pick up right away. But then you start seeing the cybernetic parts, which is great. So anyway, yeah, that's my thing about Outlaws is the more I'm playing it, the fun is not wearing off, and I'm well into it now, and it manages to have, and this is going to sound really weird because I would not have made this comparison until I really thought about it. It's got some Deus Ex feel to it, where anything you have to do, you really have a lot of options on how you approach whatever the mission is. I'm stealthing everything. And that little creature that you've got, at first I thought was annoying because I didn't really understand how to use it properly. But now it's like my partner in, okay, distract him while I kick this guy in the fucking nuts and now jump on his face while I punch this guy out. And then I'll punch that guy because you're attached to his face like a face hugger. And you can just start. It really is fun to me now to try to have a base run. I managed to run an Imperial encampment. And anybody who's played it will understand this is difficult. With nobody even knowing I was there. And there were a lot of fucking stormtroopers in that encampment. And it took about an hour to do one encampment. But I did it. Because I'm sitting here going, is it possible to run this entire outpost and have no one see me? And it was. But man, oh man, it was a combination of patience, a lot of that, luck, and just understanding how to use this little creature to constantly be distracting. Like, As soon as he's finished distracting one person, the person who's coming towards me, got to distract him so I can run around a box, punch that guy, then run back behind the box, then distract him back towards the box so he doesn't see the body because otherwise he'll warn somebody. Knock that guy out, distract somebody while I kill the alarm system. Then I've got to get out of range of the camera. I've got to disable the camera, but not in a way that'll set off the alarm. So I've got to have the creature depower the alarm, the camera, while I'm punching out the guy, because they're all in the same area. And it's beautiful. When you can do it properly, assuming you want to, you can go in there with a blaster and just wipe everything out. So I just want to be clear. If you want to brute force the fucker, you can. But if you really want to finesse it, you can. Even at a low level. I did this fairly early on. But because I wasn't using a blaster, because it was just... Now, this is one thing. And it is very hard for me to overlook this. Because even in the original movies, you could say whatever you want about stormtroopers. They have terrible aim. They hit their heads on things. They don't seem very competent, but, and I think Lando will back me up on this.
What's that?
This woman, and this is a normal physical woman who is probably in good shape, but is not a bodybuilder. So I'm being clear here. She's not some superhuman. She is a Terran woman of good shape. She looks like a tennis player. I would say she's in tennis player shape, right? Tennis players, great shape, could beat me up, but not, Mrs. Universe.
Conditioning. It's
right?
very high conditioning.
Yes. This woman can single shot knock out a stormtrooper through their helmet. And I just never buy that as real. I have punched a motocross helmet just to see what it felt like. I could not knock somebody out in one of those things. And stormtrooper helmets, they may not be good against blaster bolts, but if you hit somebody with a fist in them, and you don't have like a power fist to fall out on.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt. Unless you like.
Yeah, you're hurting. You're breaking your hand. You're not knocking them out. So the one thing I wish they had done, and if any of those developers are listening, I know they're not, and if they were going to make a sequel to this game, which they won't because it was considered a failure, even though it really wasn't a failure.
Was it really?
What I would, yeah. Well, when it was released, it was buggy, and a lot of people reacted negatively. Also, woman in charge. Oh no, my balls. So same thing as the God of War thing, whiny little bitchy babies with micro penises flipped out. It's what it is. Come on. But anyway, what I would have done to circumvent the helmet problem is just give her a little taser thing that she takes out and just jabs them under the helmet.
Or give her some brass knuckles or some shit.
Or electro knuckles. Or liquid knuckles.
Yeah, electro knuckles.
Snow Crash style. Something. Because when she hits them in the helmet, I'm sitting there going, there's no way you knocked that person out. You just didn't. Some of the Imperials don't have stormtroopers. That's fine. Then she could just punch them. The ones that are in like the the command outfits or whatever. The Andor looking people. But the stormtroopers, you can't punch them in the
You are
going to
break your hand. Yeah.
Come on. And she's not, some of them she does take their heads and smash them into things.
It's a video game, suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, but it's the one thing that really sticks out in the game where you're just sitting here going, you punched a guy in his helmet and he just dropped. No.
Yeah, no.
You might stagger him.
No,
but you're not going to drop them.
You'll give her a little hammer. Just be like, wham!
Yeah, or like I said, just, a little
you know what?
You
just reminded me. There's before that show Longmire totally went off the rails, there was this sequence where they get one of his deputies gets caught by like a prepper, and they don't believe that she came to their house by accident. And one of the things they do to question her is they put a bike, like a motorcycle helmet on her, right? And they start whacking it with a baseball bat. And I was like, oh, God. I was like, that's terrible. I was like,
oh, yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you survive it, but, like, it totally fucks you up.
But you ain't happy about it.
And you ain't happy about it, yeah. So, I mean, that's the thing. And Stormtrooper armor, you have to accept the fact that it's got to have some coverage. It's got to have something. There's got to be a reason they're wearing it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Like I said, it's easy to accept a blaster going through it because, okay, But it's a little harder when she's just bare-fisted. You know what I mean? She doesn't have anything on.
And she's just human.
And that does kind of break you out of it a little bit where I don't care, but I kind of snicker at it. I kind of, okay, yeah, sure.
And then you just go on kicking the shit out of them,
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I suddenly decide not to stealth the whole goddamn base.
I'm not going to play this anymore. Fucking punching.
Yeah. No, it didn't matter.
Oh, man.
So, did you finish the trailer?
Oh, yeah. It's funny.
It looks great.
It has a very God of War feel to it as far as like the slash and like murder of it. The quick bit at the end where they show you all the different costumes that you'll be in at some point, and the amount of people they're bringing in. Although it is,
he's always. To see, I'll tell you right now, he's always either going to be in the cowboy hat and the leather jacket,
or he's
going to be in the patch outfit.
Yeah,
the white suit. Yeah,
I know.
The Magic Force shit.
What'll be more interesting is if it's co-op at all. I'm gonna be stuck as Jean Grey the whole time. Which, by the way,
no, you won't. No, you won't.
Yeah.
No, this is an exception. You have to play Wolverine.
But it's not co-op
for 2 reasons. If it was co-op, you'd have to play Wolverine. I would not play Wolverine for 2 reasons. One, he's a melee character, and I'm not.
That's true.
So let's be honest. And the other is, you are way more physically like him than I am. So yes, I would play the woman with no issue.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
What I actually would have loved if it was Jubilee and him co-op, and then I could have played Jubilee, because that would have been a fucking riot for me.
That Jean Grey just wiped out those guys in the truck. Is that? I feel like. I don't know. Jean Grey that feels. That's the one thing in the whole trailer. I was like, well, I don't know if she just wiped them out. I mean, maybe this is a different version of Jean Grey. But yeah, she just fucking but maybe they're Reavers. You know what? That's different. Maybe it's because they're Reavers. She fucking hated the Reavers.
Oh yeah, no, they're Reavers. They're all Reavers.
Yeah, so.
And they've got a truck full of kids.
Yeah.
Those are all mutant kids, so I don't think Jean would have much of a problem killing them.
Yeah, but otherwise, no. It looks
like
a lot of fun.
The Reavers were pretty bad. I remember the Reavers were some of the worst.
Well, they drove them fucking out of the world, essentially.
Well, that too, but I mean, I remember them really hating mutants. That was Shaw's group. Shaw ran the Reavers for
Trask.
a while.
Well, the Trask was on the trucks.
No, Trask. Well, the Sentinels is Trask, but Sebastian Shaw was with the Reavers.
I think the Reavers are working with the Sentinels. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I think they're all teaming up. Yeah.
We'll see. Listen, it's always fun, this shit. You want it to work out.
I also am curious. I'm not sure that Sabretooth is a bad guy.
I don't know either. But the Wolverine costume looks good. The model looks good on him. And the only I wasn't a fan of the voice, but you know what? You're right, because the what is it? There was the voice they used for the original the 95 show.
Yeah. Tell you what, though, they ain't afraid to show some blood. That's something you don't see a lot.
But I seriously, my only issue with that was that it comes off. It eventually just disappears. And I'm like, no,
but you saw where he did the thing where he shook the claws off. He did it with the claws.
That,
Why not just do it with the outfit?
Flicks it, Shake like a dog, man. Come on.
Why not? Also, I think he would have looked scarier where the more people you kill, he just eventually is just covered in red fucking crusty blood. Where it's just flaking off him because it's congealed.
Just have it dry over his elbows and shit,
Over time, it starts turning brown like his outfit.
That yellow suit gets a lot scarier when it starts to go brown because it's covered in dry blood.
Kidding. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
anyway, it looks very good.
I feel like
it's been developing forever.
The place that a lot of the games lately are coming out, I think they're steering away from co-op, which is a shame. So, we'll see.
Well, yes and no, because actually, you got to look. I think on PSN they just added a Warhammer game. I don't know anything about Warhammer. I know what it is, but there's a co-op Warhammer game.
It's a cool-looking but miserable universe. My kid asked me the other day. He was like, "What's Warhammer?" I'm like, "It's really cool-looking, but it's a miserable place to be."
Yeah, but there's a co-op game.
In the realm of fantasy and science fiction universes, I would like to actually visit.
Well, the other problem is a lot of co-op games are not made for you and me. They're made for like me and my wife, where it's like there's one about a camper van where you just go out with a dog and you camp in places. And we'll play that because it's adorable. We'll have a great time with that.
That'd be weird for the two of us.
Yeah. Hey, man, you want to go get some wood and we'll toast some marshmallows? Yeah. All right.
What was that phrase? Ass buddy? Is that who it was?
Was it ass buddy or was it butthole buddy?
Butt buddy. Or butt buddy. Or butthole buddy. I don't know. I think it's probably all of those.
Yeah.
It's the slang of the vernacular, English is.
But that's what I mean. There is a lot of co-op stuff, but it's not really for us. Don't worry, there'll be another what do you call it game at some point. There'll be another Sniper Elite game.
Oh yeah. I do love my Sniper Elite games. Well, it's nice that these games are coming out. It's nice that they look like they're doing the work. I hope they Do you feel like we are getting away from some of the bitchery that they had with early, not early, I guess it was like mid-range Assassin's Creed games where they were like, remember all the shit that was going on where they were like giving people like power-ups and and you had to like buy power-ups and they were purposely like leaving stuff out of the game so they could charge you for it.
Yeah, I mean,
are we
look,
steering away from that, or is it still very much,
It's still there, but I do think that it is becoming less obnoxious, if that makes sense. It's never going to go away because there's too much money in it. But I don't know that it's going. It just depends too, because, for example, the 2 Resident Evil remake games, I don't believe they had any DLC in them, and they sold massively. I bought them both myself.
And that's the thing is, I don't mind DLC when it's genuinely extra content.
Yeah.
Just don't leave shit out of the game and then call it DLC.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so I was checking. So, like, Resident Evil 2 remake, full price game, no DLC. The only thing that was released for it was free. So it sold really well, as did the third one. And I will buy Code Veronica, which they just announced the remake for, because I never played that one. So I'm going to play it in the remake version, because I'm not going to play the original with the tank controls and all that shit. I don't like tank controls. So, I don't think everybody's going to abandon it. I mean, they're re-releasing Black Flag. They're remastering it.
Yeah.
Or remaking it. I don't know which it is. And I assume
because that was the last PS4 game or something like that, or the last.
I think so. Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
And Ubisoft, I don't think can resist being assholes because it's a scumbag company. So I assume it's going to have 80 different versions. No, they are. They're run by sexual predators and fucking abusers, and everybody knows. But nobody does anything about it because the world sucks like a fucking cinder. So it doesn't matter. But everybody knows what it is. And so I doubt they're going to back away from that. But I think there has been a change in the same way the live service thing is just failing and failing and failing. And finally, they're stopping that.
Oh, yeah. As a service is the most annoying phrase.
Because Sony originally was going to release, they said, I think 12 live service games. Now they've pared it down to 3, I want to say. Because they realized nobody's going to buy those games.
Somebody will.
Because nobody cares?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's sort of amazing that Fallout 76 is still going.
It is a weird kind of like magic that's still there. Especially since like just the way it came to be. But I wonder if it's because there's just the show came out and there's no other Fallouts around the market right now.
Possibly. I mean, Fallout 4 certainly saw an uptick after the show came out, so it wouldn't be. I think.
I still think that Fallout 76 allows you to play it in a lot of the ways you want to play it. I mean, if you want to build shit and,
70, yeah, it's the thing. That's what I think is actually the secret to 76, now that I've thought about it, is I think it's because I believe accidentally, let's be very clear, I don't believe this was planned at all. I think it just so happened, because that stuff came in Fallout 4 was where the base building and making your own stuff came in.
Yeah.
And nobody liked it then. A lot of people hated it. But then there has always been this kind of underlying, I want to make it my own thing. And I think in 76, they really kind of went full bore on that, saying, okay, you can build anything you want. You can make your house as silly or as serious or as whatever you want. And then here's a game you can play around it. And I think they've managed a really strange trick. I think 2 of the most bafflingly successful game stories there are in recent memory.
It was kind of like that No Man's Land.
Yeah, and No Man's Sky, which they just keep adding stuff to it. And it's so massive of a game now that at some point we will play it but I'm not going to play it till it's done. Until they finally say no more updates, because they just keep adding all this huge stuff.
Ever be done?
Oh yeah, of course. At some point that's because they keep releasing it all free. See, that's the thing. None of this stuff costs anything. At some point they're going to realize. Well, I don't think realize. I think they're going to get sick of updating
at that point then?
Well, because they still sell copies of it.
Oh, okay.
If it's all you work on and you keep selling copies, you can keep doing it. And I don't think that they're spending massive amounts of money on it. I think this is all stuff that they just like doing. But I believe, I'm just curious, I think it's never gone on sale, and that's part of the reason that they can have it. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's on sale for $24 right now.
There you go.
But that's pretty rare. Yeah. But I mean, what was the latest thing? They just put out another goddamn update. Well, that's why I'm like, I'm stop until they're done. I'm not playing it again. I don't want to keep restarting this fucking game. The Swarm, a new universal threat. The Swarm. There's this giant machine in the sky. You have to battle ships. Where in the original one there was no space battles at all. Now there's fucking huge space battles. You can have a frigate. You can like run a galactic. It's almost like Eve, but without spreadsheets. It's crazy. No, I'm serious. Because you could just have an armada and send them out and go mine this thing, and it just does it. But you don't have to worry about whether the universal currency will be unbalanced by a group of people in the Netherlands who decide that they'll team up and tank the currency. And so, do you have to do a speculative option to make sure that the thing that was worth $1 million yesterday isn't worth a penny tomorrow? It's like fucking Bitcoin with these people.
I love Eve as a game to read about, and I like the idea.
Conceptually, it's amazing. Practically, it's miserable.
But you've got to be really into Eve. I don't think there's no half-assing that game.
No.
No.
Yeah. No.
Whereas, listen, I'm far. We're still playing Divinity. Divinity 2?
Yeah. Divinity 2 Original Sin or something. Yeah,
and I still don't give much of a shit about the actual story, but I love the combat, and I do like a lot of the little kind of micro stories within the larger context.
Let me tell you something. The biggest story point I've cared about in that entire game is the dog that we liberated that we then found frolicking in a graveyard.
Oh, yeah, after we killed the guy. Yeah, and the dog was like, I'm happy
honestly,
now.
I don't give a shit if the rest of that game is garbage, narratively.
I'll tell you what the irony of that situation, and that is part of what I like about this game, right? Which is that you found this dog that you'd saved, and the dog was like, hey, I'm fucking happy now. And you were like, great, cool. And then, 5 minutes later, we came around a turn and there was a dog there. And you're like, hey, buddy. And he was like, I will fucking kill all of you. And it went from, happy to, oh, no. And then I remember I came running to help you. And you're like, dude, you got to kill the dog. It's like, the dog is and I think the phrase you used was, it's a demon. The game just knew it would hurt me the most by being a dog. We've got to kill it.
That is what I said.
And I was like, you know what? I like a game that inadvertently creates that kind of situation. So no, it's not a perfect game. I understand that it was on the roads to making Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate is still the superior game. But having played Baldur's Gate several times, this is a fun ride as well. They're just missing all the great acting and the great character work that they had, with all the actors and everything in Baldur's Gate. But I like it, and I find the combat to be, I don't know, there's just something weirdly, meditative and soothing about it. I had the same thing with Wastelands, where you get these big fights.
I love Wasteland.
Yeah, and there's just something systematic and problem solving. And the people who make Baldur's Gate and Divinity, they want you to challenge their games. I really like that as well. That the game is they want you to try and break it. So in everything that you do, you're always thinking, how can we break what you've created? We just had a fight where there was some sort of impossible witch, and we didn't win in the end. But we fucked around, and we kept warping her into, walls and shit, and she was trying to figure out how to get out of them. And I was like, I never know if this is something that the game counted on or didn't count on.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
But I started to wonder if we should all learn telekinesis just enough to be able to teleport enemies. If all of us should have that skill.
Oh my god! Yeah, I mean, there was somebody who was the guy that was like, teleport her down to the beach, make the bitch have to run all the way back up to get you.
And the only reason it didn't work is because we only have 2 teleporters. So if one of those is out, then that's why.
And it's like in Baldur's Gate, I think the one thing that we use, other than the fact that you became a super thief and we robbed everybody, we robbed the bank of fucking Baldur's Gate just for shits and giggles.
That was the best.
Was the Dome of Invulnerability. That was the super glitch in that game. And it was all about figuring out where to put it, when to put it, and then
stockpiling.
Yeah, and stockpiling and prepping for battles. So you'd be like, okay, we're going to set up all these explosives because we know a fight's going to happen here. And then we'll just drop the dome and blow everything up. And everybody will burn around us and we'll just be nice and happy in the dome. It's like, it's shit like that. I love that, you can figure out a system. Yeah. And I think that Divinity has a little less of that, but there's enough of it that it's still fun.
Well, I don't think it has less of it. I think that we don't know it well enough because... As we were just talking, I was thinking about that woman at the beach, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Is there something we could put on the ground to slow her coming back up? Like if I rain blood, because that slows us, or if I put oil down, if she's slowed, because the problem is she comes back really fast.
She's doing this like flying hop thing, so.
Yeah, but if there's a way to slow her.
Yeah.
I
do like that. I like the problem solving. I like the fact that Joe and I are sitting there going, wow, well, what if we do this? And like, some games are just, boom, boom, boom. But some games are like, well, how could we do this best? So, yeah, love it. That is the current state of gaming as I know it. And otherwise, yes, people are very upset about God of War.
Yeah.
And you know what? Man,
they're upset because the lead is a female.
Good, fuck them.
I don't need male leads in games. I'm fine with looking at girls.
I don't either.
So
I prefer to play as a character closest to myself, but I don't need it.
Yeah.
I'm playing the woman in Outlaws and having a blast. She's great.
Yeah, I'd rather look at
I actually quite like
aesthetically
that she doesn't appear to be a white woman either.
Is she?
I
never even looked at the art in the game. Hold on.
She seems mixed-ish.
Listen, she's in a galaxy far, far away, man. I don't know if they've got Hispanics
I know.
there.
I like it. I'm happy about it. I'm sure that drove people crazy too, because she didn't look like Scarlett Johansson.
She's not white enough. You know what? I was talking to my wife about the whole four teated thing, and my exact phrasing was, "Four teats? That's not American." Oh yeah, she kind of looks like an older Dora the Explorer.
Oh yeah, there you go. Well, she kind of is.
She's like,
we go in caves.
She looks like Murder the Explorer. I like her
Dora
jacket,
the extinguisher. Yeah.
Why the short jacket thing? It's just so short. Some of these the Bolero.
Well, I've got her in the Boba Fett jacket, so it's okay.
Oh,
I've got her in.
You know what? It just occurred to me there must be 1,000 cool outfits in this. So.
Oh yeah, you could. She basically. I have Han Solo's outfit. I've got her in Han Solo's pants and boots. I've got her in a red leather gun belt, and then she's got the Boba Fett. They call it the Hunter's. I mean, it's Boba Fett. I have Boba Fett's helmet on the side of my speeder, like I killed him and cut his head off, which is kind
of.
Look
at that jacket. Look at that. It's fun.
Yeah. With a little armor on the sides, I like it. It's nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's funny.
And then I have and then there's strangely there's a samurai themed thing in there.
Well, it's a fucking game,
I don't know why, but I know. But I have
for
the samurai.
Shits and giggles, man.
No, but it looks good on the speeder. The speeder's like blood red, and then the wrapping on a samurai sword, that kind of
the
hilt wrapping.
stingray and
that's the seat. The seat. The seat is that. It's great looking.
It's stingray.
Well, I don't. It doesn't tell you it's stingray, but it's that. If you look it up, look up Outlaws, Speeder, Ronin, Skin, probably. All Speeder paint jobs. If you look that one up, oh, come on, does it not show you? Oh, you have to click on them. Okay. So if you click on the one that's called Cartel Ronin, it doesn't really show you the seat, though. You can't really see the seat. Isn't there a good picture of it? Don't we have a good picture of this thing? Cartel. Hold on. I can't believe this isn't easier to find.
I actually like their like diesel motorcycle speeder design.
Oh, the speeder's great. Yeah. There's a lot of them like this.
Do you think the design work in this is better than the actual show sometimes?
Sometimes. Listen, I wasn't kidding when I said this is the best thing since the original movies. That's not an exaggeration.
Wow.
Because it's a really nice blend of all of it. So, yeah, I do. Because all the speeders kind of they don't look nice. They look kind of used.
Yeah, it's got that beat up look.
I mean, even the robot you're paired with is weird, and that's why I like him. And he's very brusque at this point. But he says shit like, he told the character to do something, and she's like, "You think that's a good idea?" He's like, "Well, yeah, but it's not like I care if you die. So maybe it isn't."
Did this come out before Rogue One?
Oh no, well after. Rogue One's
Okay,
well
then they
before
must have,
this.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
Okay,
I
so
don't
the
like
actress,
the
so the
Roman
actress
pants,
they're
though.
using, I think, is a Hispanic woman, Humberly
Oh, okay.
Gonzalez.
All right, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's good. I like her.
She's the
she's
voice
not
actor. And
trying
I
to
think
be
she's
Han
the,
Solo.
And I think she's the what do you call it, the facial.
Oh, she's the face model.
Yeah, she did the voice and the face model. Yeah.
Yeah, no, she's good. I like the attitude of the character too, because like I said, they're not trying to make her into Han Solo, which at first I was like, oh, they're just trying to do a female Han Solo. But it's really not that. It's more
No, but if
of
you're
just
an
the fact
outlaw
that,
in this world, I mean, there's so many kind of roads you follow.
Yeah. Yeah, she starts out very amoral. She's starting to kind of change a bit. No, I wouldn't say amoral. Actually, here's this also.
Well, do they give you
this
the
is
opportunity to play it like an asshole if you want? I mean...
Oh, you can be against everybody. You could literally fight everything that you ever see. It's just going to be a very hard game, but you can. Yeah, you can do it. You could piss off every cartel if you want to, but you will have a hard time. I mean, it would be very hard to... I mean, you could do it, but I would imagine it would be a rough going. But also, in a parallel thing to the Divinity dog thing, there's a part where you have to find a heavy weapons expert. You find this woman... And she's like, "Nope, I'm out of it. I don't want to do anything. I'm just going to sit here and drink myself to death." And you're like, "Okay, but I need help. I don't know how to use heavy weapons. I need somebody to help me out with it." And she says, "No, fuck it. You know what? Empire took all my shit. I'm sick of it. I'm done. I'm too old for this crap." And you go, "Well, what if I can get your weapons back?" She's like, "You aren't going to get them back. The Empire's got them. What are you going to do? You're one person." You're like, "Well, you could help me." She says, "No, I'm not going to help you." And so you go, "Okay, well, do you have an idea of where they might be?" "Yeah, here's where they caught it. You call me if you get them. Good fucking luck." So like, okay. So you go off. You find a thing. You get them back. And she's like, "Really? You found them?" And you say, "Well, I found this." She's like, "Well, that's not all of it, but that's enough." And you're like, "Well, enough for what?" She's like, "Oh, no. Now that you have them, we're going to kill a bunch of Empire soldiers." And you're like, "Well, wait a minute. Isn't that going to piss the Empire off?" She's like, "I don't give a fuck. We're going to blow some people up." And you're like, "Okay, if I help you blow them up, then will you help me?" And she's like, "Okay, fine. You help me blow up and kill a bunch of Imperials or imps. Then I can help you." So you're like, "Okay." And you get in this huge fight. You kill a whole bunch of fucking stormtroopers and colonels and all the right. I mean, you blow up a whole bunch of transport things in the middle of, on Tatooine. Like you're in the middle, you've got them in a death zone where they're coming in. You're just fucking destroying everybody. It's great. You're using this big heavy laser. You're like, what's his face from Predator with the fucking gun?
Yeah, you've set them up, yeah.
Yeah, and you're just mowing them down. Left and right. And that's the thing, I was wondering why I couldn't pick up the heavy guns. That's why. Once she teaches you how to use them, then you can pick up these heavy guns. Because every other gun that was lighter you could pick up. And I'm sitting there going, why won't... And I thought the game just didn't want me to be mowing people down. And it's not really that. It's that you don't have the skill yet. So you mow all these people down, and you train with it, and then she's sitting there, and you say, all right, why is it that you so wanted to kill all these people? And the woman kind of looks at you, and she looks at the little creature, and she says, "What's his name?" You say, "Oh, his name's Nix." She says, "What is he?" And you say, "Well, I'm not really sure. I picked him up on this planet, whatever. And, we've been together ever since." And she says, "I had a skell dog named whatever. And we did everything together. And the Empire killed him." And that's why she wanted to do it. And I'm like, I fucking love this game. Like, this fucking woman is me in this universe. Like, oh, okay. I'm just going to kill everybody and drink myself to death now because the only creature I care about in the universe is dead. Let's go get him. And that's it. And I don't know if she's going to pop back up or not. It's sort of ambiguous whether now, because you helped her out, that she'll actually come back and help you later. But I really don't care if she doesn't.
No, but there was a pet lover in the room when they wrote it.
Yeah. And as soon as she asked Nix's name, I'm like, oh. Because she didn't answer to her. She's just like, "What's his name?" And that's why she wanted to kill what I would assume, based on the length of the fight, was probably 60 to 100 stormtroopers. I mean, there were a lot of transports, and we didn't knock them out. That's a death mission. There was no stealth option to just punch him in the helmet on that one. So, but as soon as she gave the reasoning, my first thought was, why weren't we using fucking grenades? Or, flamethrowers so they could really cook. But hey, whatever. We murdered a bunch of stupid fucking anti-animal stormtroopers, which they are anti-aliens. So again, there's a nice little consistency.
Yeah, you know what? I always forget that the Empire is like fucking racist against aliens.
That's the reason Thrawn is the amazing thing he is because he's an alien in charge of a whole fleet.
Yeah. He's humanoid
which tells
enough.
you how... It's a very simple thing to tell you, oh man, he must be heavy, major league if the Emperor is okay trusting him with an entire group when no other alien is in charge of jack shit.
Oh, actually...
I don't know if,
It's good that we... I would just remember this. I saw an interview recently... with Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni was at some convention, and they were asking him about the use of Darth Vader in the new Darth Maul series, which I've watched the fight, and I think it's really well done. And I was going to skip over, but then I was curious because it was basically, Dave Filoni's take on Darth Vader, right? And I was like, okay, you know what? So far, I feel like Dave Filoni has handled Darth Vader pretty well. He doesn't overuse him. He doesn't throw him at you constantly. He seems like he's pretty sparing with the character, right? And so Dave Filoni was talking, and what he said to me was probably the best kind of summation of the Darth Vader tragic villain character that I've heard anyone say, which was essentially, he goes, when I see Darth Vader, I don't see Anakin. He goes, Anakin's gone. He's like, Anakin does not exist anymore. There is no Anakin left in there. If he's in there, he's shut away. He goes, Darth Vader is basically somebody who made the wrong choice and lost everything. They're like, and now that they've lost it, they can't come to terms with the fact that they've made this bad decision. That they lost their wife, they lost everything. Everything died. They are the bad guy. And so every time they see anything that reminds them of who they were before, they have to destroy it. They have to destroy it with every ounce of their being. They're like, so that's why when you see Darth Vader in a fight, they're like, he's just... And if you see the way that so when Darth Vader fights Darth Maul and the two other fucking Jedi that are there, there's this way he fights where... And they did this in the Obi-Wan series as well. He's like a hammer. Like, he is just... trying to destroy you with every ounce of his being. He is 100% invested in your destruction. You are in the way of him going back to being able to just be like, no, I'm fine, everything's fine. I'm, and I was like, yeah, you know what? I was like, I found that definition to be very fascinating. It made a lot of sense to me. I know Dave Filoni always kind of says, well, George, it was already there with George Lucas, and I'm like, yeah, I guess so. But he also mentioned how in Return of the Jedi, he's like, Luke's son is the only person that can get through to him, and when he does get through to him, Darth Vader's first instinct is to still go, son, we'll what do you call it? We'll run the galaxy together, you and me. He's like, we'll take over. Like, there's still this kind of like psychosis to him. Even though Luke gets through, and it's the whole idea, he had to die. Like, he just had to. there was no saving him. But I like that idea. Like, you don't really get into that psychology, because, sometimes when you learn more about a villain, it makes the villain shittier. This happens all the time. We're like, let's give you the backstory. But in this respect, understanding that psychological aspect of Darth Vader makes him more terrifying and tragic all at the same time. He has to destroy you because you remind him that he did everything wrong. Therefore, he will try to destroy you with every ounce of his being, and he is incredibly powerful. And it, like, when you take that mindset and then you kind of look at the stuff they did in the comics and the way they've handled it in, like, Rogue One and the Obi-Wan series, like, yeah, like, he is fucking pissed with the universe, and it goes all the way back to the beginning too, because like when he's on, even in the first Star Wars, one of those guys starts mouthing off, and Vader does the whole choky thing when he's like, "I find your lack of faith That's what he says.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like as he
And the
fucking
guy's
chokes
like,
him in the air.
nobody believes in that bullshit. You're
Yeah.
your ancient religion. You
And
dumb
then-
shit.
and then-
And he's like, let
and
me
then
step
Tarkin's
forward,
like-
move my hands slightly, and when you can't breathe anymore, perhaps you'll find the light.
Yeah, and then Tarkin's like, "Hey, dude, come on, settle down. Come on."
Enough of this. He's like, come on, guys.
But that's what it is. And I actually found that definition, that vision of Darth Vader, made me more appreciative of Dave Filoni and more appreciative of how Darth Vader has appeared in his work, and also how he has been in the other movies. I was like, you know what? I was like, this is why I like Dave Filoni. He's got a good head on him for how these characters function. And it's like, if we're going to be stuck going back to the well in the Star Wars universe, which I don't want to, but if we're going to be stuck going back, at least there's somebody there who's thinking about the psychology of these people and why they do what they do. And in this rare case, learning more about how a character thinks actually improved the character in my eyes. You know? And if you haven't seen the fight between Darth Maul and Darth Vader, it's fantastic. Darth Maul is actually, like, the fear in his eyes where he's just like, why aren't you just going down? He's like, why are you so hard? He's like, what the fuck are you? And it's great because for so much of that series, Darth Maul is the guy who knows what the fuck he's doing. You know, and the thing is, Darth Maul is very powerful. He is very dangerous. But, you know, you get Vader in his heyday, and Vader just starts going through shit. I mean, that's why the Obi-Wan series, which I didn't in general like, but you get to that final fight, and it's like, yeah, Vader would beat you until, you know, Obi-Wan basically realized that the kids were toast without him. You know, if he didn't do something, that was it. And he, you know, essentially went atomic on Vader.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If you can find it, I mean, it's on YouTube. If you look up basically Dave Filoni on Vader, and you'll see he's at a convention talking about it. And it was just, it was only like maybe 7 minutes long, but it was just such a perfect summation of the character. I really enjoyed that. And now I kind of look forward to see, you know, what else he does. You know what? Instead of doing a Mandalorian movie, they should have fucking just did the Darth Maul series as live action. I would have watched the shit out of that.
Yeah.
You know, and I wonder sometimes, like, I mean, because Mandalorian was a flop. Didn't do well at all. Like, what does that do now? Does it remind them to just stick to television, or, you know?
I don't know what it does.
And is it that bad?
Really
Like,
don't.
I kind of want to see it now just to be like, is it that bad? Like, what did you fuck up? Is this just like a long episode of the show?
Yes, they said there's just like multiple things happen. You sit there and go, why wasn't this just 8 episodes? They literally took a 4th or 5th, whatever it was, season, and they made a movie.
Yeah,
That's everybody who's seen it.
Yeah, which is
even
the
the ones who
weird
like
shit.
it say, yeah, I don't know why this wasn't a series.
Yeah, which is the weird shit they did with Boba Fett, where they were like, oh, we're gonna do, we're gonna throw in some Mandalorian episodes in here, you know.
That's every opinion. Like I said, even the good ones who were like, yeah, it was a lot of fun, but I don't know why it wasn't just a series.
Yeah.
Because
we wanted more money.
Yeah, but it didn't work, did it? So.
And that makes me wonder, like, are we going to get more Mandalorian, or has this shit canned it for everybody?
Oh, I doubt it's shit canned it.
Did you see that there's conversations going on with Gina Carano again?
Yeah, of course. They don't care.
After her big mantra.
Hey, man, look, all that let's support people who are marginalized, that's all over, man. It's done.
Yeah, well, I guess you're right.
USA's back, baby. Old school hatred's back. Come on.
Four tits,
back
man.
on board.
It's not American.
Yeah. Right? So, of course they're going to talk to her. Is there a buck in it? Actually, that to me, that's my cynical actual belief.
Yeah.
Is because apparently I had seen something, and we're not going to stay on this for too long, but there's something about how now support for like gay marriage and everything is starting to go down.
Yeah.
There's this whole, you know what? And a lot of people are interpreting that as, oh, what? Now people like hate gay people again or something. And my thing is, no, I don't think it's that. I don't think anybody gives a fuck. They're all about themselves now. It's a me society again. So sorry to hear it. Get fucked. Nobody cares. And I think that's the thing is Disney has this perception that the shit that they were doing before, which has consistently lost money, instead of learning the lesson of you are over milking the cow until it's bones, their lesson is it must be because we had all this inclusive stuff and nobody wants that. So let's bring in somebody who
represents
we fired. Yeah, who represents the fucking hate groups. You know, that's on board with biological whatever. And let's see if that does it. It's throwing spaghetti at the wall to see if it sticks. I don't think they actually believe in her in any way, but they're just sitting there going, well, we can't salvage the young people. Maybe we can bring the old hateful bigots back. Because whatever prints money, goddammit, I don't care what it is.
That's gonna be.
That's how you have to look at it.
That's gonna be a hell of a Disney princess movie. I can't wait. Yeah, Princess Racist,
and I remember there was something.
And the homophobic dragon.
How there hadn't been I think it was on 30 Rock, they made this joke about how people didn't realize that there hadn't been a white Disney princess well before any of this for a long time, and nobody noticed. Because the Disney movies told good stories, so nobody cared. So, by that logic, you should never have a white princess again if you go by dumb Disney logic, instead of focusing on, oh, wait a minute. We told interesting, varied stories that lots of people responded to in different ways from different experiences.
You'll know that we've hit rock bottom when they do a double wide platinum re-release of Song of the South. Okay?
No, they'll never do that.
Oh, fuck you.
Because no.
It'll get bad enough. They will.
No. Because one thing Disney is smart about. See, this is the thing. A lot of these big companies, I'll give them this credit. They understand that there is not a value in blatantly alienating an audience. You have to have a defense. As long as you have a defense, then you're fine. There is no defense for something like Song of the South. There just isn't one. There is no excusing its racism.
And I'll be honest with you, what fascinates me is that they will never release that movie again, right? But they still did a fucking ride for it. Splash Mountain was... it makes no sense to me. Why
I'm not going to say that... I'm not going to say it will...
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily go so far as say it will never be available again, but do I think it will get a grand release? No.
A majestic release in the South?
If anything, they might at some point, this I could see them doing, offer, the complete Disney filmography archives, volumes 1 through whatever. And they'll put it in there and they'll say, look, if you ignore history, you repeat it. Therefore, we're going to include this. We're not celebrating it. We're going to put some commentaries by people ripping it apart, Matrix style. But we'll make it available because it is important to acknowledge this difficult point in our history where we made mistakes.
Not to mention,
still make a couple dollars off it.
Not to mention, it has some good tunes. I mean, Zippity Doodah is a good song.
Like I said, I'm not saying it will never be available.
It's a shame that they have such a good song in such a racist movie.
I mean, it's the same thing with Triumph of the Will or whatever, where there's great filmmaking in it. If you could just overlook the fact that it's celebrating white supremacy, there's real. I mean, there's a reason that is studied is because there is a lot of very powerful filmmaking technique in it. Shame about the whole point of the movie, but you could still have it in art film schools and stuff like that. They won't not let you teach it because you can technically learn things from it. And, you just have to acknowledge, hey, everybody, this is what this is about. Let's not pretend it isn't. However, in terms of some of the early innovations in filmmaking, you can't deny that stuff's there. It's the same reason that Mein Kampf will never go out of print because you have to document what this came from. You have to have it there.
Yeah, you can't
just erase it and hope it goes away.
No, you can't forget.
No. That's why. So we'll Song of the South, but I don't think it's going to get like a Disney re-release in theaters coming to IMAX. No.
Well, listen.
No.
When that happens, you'll know that I said that's rock bottom.
I think rock bottom will be a lot worse than that.
Well, for Disney, that's rock bottom.
Disney would have to be available for acquisition by that point. I mean, Apple would buy Disney before it got that far. Just for the library.
Just for the characters.
You know? I mean, I'm not going to say it's a zero chance what you're saying. I'm not completely dismissing it, but I'm saying Disney would have to be in such a bad state that somebody would gobble them up before that just for the IP.
Like, rather than re-release this in theaters, just let us buy you.
Yeah. Or they'd only release it on, I don't know, Betamax.
Oh, God, that's hilarious.
So that nobody could realistically buy it,
Betamax.
Except for people who were so trapped in the past they still had a VCR.
First, they'd have to produce enough Betamax to release it on.
Well, there's a new movie that's only on VHS.
Is Betamax still released?
No, but there's a movie that's only available on VHS that just came out.
What's that?
Foreign film. I don't remember what it was called. New movie only on VHS. It was... What was it called? I read about it. Now I can't... Yeah.
No one is... New Betamax players and tapes are no longer manufactured.
Yeah, Betamax is dead because it lost back in the VCR.
No, I know that. I know, but you know what? There's always... It's weird because there's always somebody who's kind of like making something.
No, I think there's still places that repair them, but nobody's making them. Or it's going to be a one-off Etsy person making them for, $1,000 a pop. Here it is. Portuguese director Robert dos Santos has a new straight-to-VHS film titled This Is How the World Ends. Even though VHS players went out of production in 2016, Dos Santos' film is unplayable for most people who don't have an old VCR. But he said, it's a film made by humans for humans. I want people to feel something imperfect because VHS is not a perfect medium, but it also has a physical process. You have to order a tape, and for some people, actually go out and buy a VCR. I'm asking people to do a lot, but that's what it means to be human. That's what it means to exist in this lifetime, to actually participate in the act of life, and not just allow things to happen. It's to go out there and feel the bumps and grooves of life. So you can only buy it on VHS. I don't know that he'll make a lot of sales, but good for him.
Yes. Good for
There's a reason. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure it's also getting a lot of promotion for his film.
Well, yeah.
But, I don't necessarily entirely doubt his sincerity.
Now that you've brought us all the way back around to film, you might as well hit the music.
Oh, sure. Let's see. Where are we? Here we are. There it is.
Just give me the essence of the thing, the juice,
Thanks for killing my mom.
Hey, no problem.
See white girls bore me.
You can eat shit and die, Colonel.
I do want you to come.
Come on, show me your dick.
I got that track, and I play it in my car all the time now.
Yeah, good.
That's a great piece of music.
It is.
This wasn't a good week for movies, I think.
Yeah, let me sum
but
that up.
I want to say, though, I appreciate that Joe tried to bring some different movies into the mix. I'm not annoyed. I'm glad that we tried. It didn't work out. One of these movies we actually didn't even watch all of because we were there.
Yeah. Well, I will say, too, in the entire time of us doing this, I don't think we've had a week where we didn't like any of the stuff on tap. I don't think we had a total loss.
I mean, and Joe, and
beginning.
I give Joe credit. We didn't watch a third movie to make up for it because you could have thrown a Godzilla movie on there and would have been like, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was surprised.
Yes,
I was surprised.
it's a rare week also in that I don't like doing negative reviews, but since we watched it, I have to.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, there are negative reviews that are negative because you didn't feel it, you didn't like it. But they're not going to be hateful reviews. I'll put you like that. I mean, you might give a hateful review. I understand what people were trying to do. I just don't necessarily think they accomplished it. So we should probably start with the first one.
Yeah. So we started with a movie that I've heard about for a long time.
So have I.
I remember seeing the trailer for it. I remember people saying it was really good. I know the director is beloved by a lot of people. And I'm not going to judge any of the rest of his stuff off this one because I think he's made a lot of very different things. But we watched the 2006. Boy, there's a lot of movies called The Host.
Yeah,
so you're going to look it up.
Yeah.
You got to look up The Host 2006. And this is a Korean film. It's a Korean horror comedy film, I think. It has to be. Which, again, when it came out, I remember hearing a lot of people talking about it, saying, oh, this is really, really good. And it's something that's interesting and unique and has its own identity, which I would agree with all those things. But it's not a movie for us. Well, I'll let you speak.
Well,
it didn't end up being a movie for me, and I'll explain why. As I said in my short review, this movie has one of the best openings and setups for a movie of its type I've ever seen.
The simplicity of movie is...
Yeah.
Well, the simplicity of this movie is essentially... it is based on... The initial concept is based off something that did happen, where an American base, an officer there, told his South Korean underling to pour all this toxic chemicals into the river to dispose of them, right? It was a big thing. The officer was never handed over to the South Korean government to be brought to justice. And it raised all these questions about sovereignty and whether they had the right to basically carry out law on their own soil. And this is kind of the initial anger, I think, in the making of this movie, right? But this movie itself has that sequence followed by then years later where a giant aquatic creature appears from the river and just starts fucking people up. And I will agree with you. The first 20 minutes of this movie, I was real hopeful. Because the creature shows up, and it is comedic. Like, there is a violence, but there's a comedic violence to it, and I was fascinated by the strange assortment of characters that we were given. But essentially, the daughter of one of the main characters is taken by the creature after it has killed a whole lot of people. And then later, when they think that everyone has basically been quarantined because there may be a viral element to all this, which later on, do they ever say that it's the pollution, that there never was a virus? It's just the pollution that was caused.
Yeah. No, they always. It's only that the populace says there's no virus.
Yeah, and then the main guy gets a phone call, and it turns out that his daughter is alive. She's stuck somewhere in the sewer. Her cell phone barely has any signal. At which point, the guy and his father and his two siblings, and they all kind of hate each other, have to get out of the hospital and find her. Now, all of that, up until that moment, I was on board up until the moment they were in quarantine. Right? It was a different kind of movie. It had different kind of characters. I know that for you, it peaked at the funeral setting. I thought the funeral setting was very good. I thought this movie could have been good if it continued with this weird comedy horror direction, but the movie can't seem to balance them. And for the rest of the movie, first off, the movie is about 40 minutes too long. There just seems to be like 40 minutes of just wandering in this movie. And then sometimes it gets so serious and so intense. And then sometimes you're like, what the fuck just happened? Like it just gets very, very silly. And it tired me. I got to the end and I was just fatigued with the film. To the point, and then when the ending finally happens, if the ending had come a half hour earlier, I would have had enough energy, I think, to at least appreciate it on some level. But by the time the ending comes, it's such a blessing because the movie's gone on for so long. And I feel like I think the director wrote it as well, right? But you know
I
what?
believe so, yeah.
I'm going to come around and say this. Directors very often suck at writing. Just because you're a good director doesn't mean you're a good writer. And just because you're a good writer doesn't mean you're a good director. Right? I feel like sometimes we need to let the people who are good at things do things. In this case, I think the director, who I think is a good director. Snowpiercer was a fucking good-looking movie, depressing as shit, and I don't want to see it again, but it was a good-looking movie. The Host is a good-looking movie, and I did enjoy it up to a point. But I do not think he is a good writer. I think that he has a middle problem where he doesn't know how to get the beginning to the end, and he lets it drag. Snowpiercer has a drag in the middle to me, and this is becoming a major sort of weakness of this director for me, which makes me not want to see his other movies. And yet, this is not the movie that we skipped ahead on. We actually watched this whole thing all the way through, and I did enjoy it. There are aspects throughout the movie that were kind of enjoyable. You know, I would love to see, you know how you always say, where I love to see an edit. I'd love to see if someone make an edit where they kind of like trimmed the movie a little bit and made it more of a horror comedy, right? But the thing is, it's tough to be a comedy because so many people like die. Like the characters that you like the most, the father early on in the movie, he's the first one to die. And I like that character quite a bit. And then, you know, spoiler, the little girl they're spending the whole movie trying to save dies, which is also a huge bummer. And then the little boy, the little homeless boy that the daughter was trying to save lives, and her father takes him in, and that's the sweet ending of the movie, which is at the end, the father inherits his father's like food shack, and he's there with the kid, and the kid's no longer homeless, and they have a family. They never give you any kind of a resolution for the siblings, which is weird because there's a portion of this movie that you spend with the siblings. Like they aren't nothing characters. Like they kind of have their own main aspect of the movie, especially in the middle where it drags. So the fact that you get no resolution for them, it's like you couldn't taken out some of the other shit, maybe like just slid a little bit in there about, but there's no resolution. So their story feels unfinished. And I don't mind the ending of the main guy, the dad. It's just that it's not enough after so much fucking movie. So, I mean, I would say that, you know, you watch the first half hour of The Host and the last half hour of The Host, and you've got a pretty tight film. But the middle just drags. And there is fascinating kind of sarcastic commentary throughout the film. I mean, the Americans don't come off very good. Oh, I'll give you that right there. But yeah, it just dragged. It just dragged to me, and it's, you know, I thought the monster was good enough. It had an interesting look to it. I like the fact that it slow digested people, you know. And there's a lot of little things that I thought were interesting and good, but in the end, it was just too long and lost its way. I mean, I don't know if that's how you feel about it, but that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I agree. It's too long. I think it can't ever get back to what that opening was. The tone just is not ever as balanced as it is in those opening scenes. As you said, the siblings, I barely know anything about them. They're not correctly defined and set up. So honestly, they live, right? The siblings
They
live?
do. Oh yeah, they live. Yeah.
I don't even remember.
Because she shoots the arrow, and the brother has the torch, and then that's it.
Yeah, that's right. I see. I can't even
Honestly,
remember.
the
That's
end
how
of the
much I don't
movie,
care about it.
The last thing you see is them crying over the daughter, over the niece, over their niece.
So
and then
I mean,
the
if
father
they
goes
should have
and finds
died,
a little.
because I didn't care about
it doesn't
them.
matter that they give it they give it so little attention at the end that they could have died and it would have mattered.
Yeah.
So
I'm literally trying to stifle a yawn talking about it because here's what I'll say about it in general, and this will tell you everything you need to know. But before I do,
200 hours later,
watching this the first time, I was never bored because I didn't know where it was going. I guarantee I'd fall asleep if I watched it again.
And
I wouldn't care.
And here's the thing: I was fatigued through the middle of this movie.
I wasn't because I really didn't know what where it was going. Who was going to die, who was going to live. So I was kind of like interested.
Right? The betrayal is that you were expecting, because the opening of the movie is very strong to me. Because the opening of the movie was so strong, I was expecting it to go to some weird, fucked up, comedic, but horrible places. And it kind of did, but kind of didn't. And it just kind of wandered. It lost its way.
Yeah, I was interested in the biology of the creature. I kept thinking there would be another one, so I was waiting for that. There were things where I was interested because I didn't know. I hadn't read what the story was. So I was like, well, I don't know the answers here. So I was interested enough the one time to make it all the way through. I was not bored. But like I said, now that I know the story, there is no chance I make it through it again. None. Without falling asleep. Because as you said, knowing that the brother and sister have basically no payoff, no character, no care, I would just go right to sleep in the middle where they're with the brother. I don't care. The brother's nothing. The best thing he does is in the opening where he drop kicks the guy, which was improvised.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the opening.
Yeah, you found out that one of your favorite parts of the movie wasn't even from the director. It was from the actor.
Yeah. Here's, if anybody watches this, or if anybody remembers the movie, the moment the movie stops being good is when the guy comes into this giant hangar where everybody's crying and moaning and miserable and says, hey, somebody's parked illegally, which was fucking hilarious. Genuinely, it was David Lynch style where it's so much misery that it goes so far around the bend it becomes funny. And then that guy coming into this scene where all these people have lost family members and are in mourning and miserable and crying and screaming and goes, hey, who's parked illegally? That's great. And after that, the movie just starts on a decline and it never recovers except for the ending, which is very nice, but way too little too late. But from a filmmaking perspective, it's technically great. I mean, it looks fantastic. The shots are good. I don't speak Korean,
I don't think
so I assume all the actors were good.
I don't think he's a bad
they seem
director.
fine.
I'm just saying that writing-wise, not great. Great opener.
Well,
I liked the ending. Middle fell apart for me.
A lot of people like this movie. That's fine. It wasn't for us.
Well, that's...
And
you know what? But listen, I'm fine with people liking this movie. That's totally cool. I can understand why people
maybe
like this
we're
movie.
the outliers here. I don't know.
We are sometimes the outliers, yes.
Very often.
Yeah, but I'll still take this over the other one we watched.
Yeah, so, I mean, between the two of these, I'd say watch The Host. That's pretty easy. And there probably is a fan edit that shortens it. Let's take a look. I'm curious. The Host fan edit. I'm just curious if one of the things is cut it down. Let's see. Is there a Host fan edit? Okay. The Host. Whoops. Oh, I have to actually type the H-O-S-T. Let's see. Yeah. Why does it look like that? Oh, oh God, it's a fucking spreadsheet. Jesus. Guys, why? Why? Oh, for fuck's sake. Hold on, let me go here. I know they have these spreadsheets on this thing. All right, here we go. Let's see. Resources. I'm just very curious if somebody's done it. Here's the database. All right, let's look for fan edit search. Because, I mean, people will fan edit every goddamn thing. Everything.
Seeing
Let's
if
see.
somebody's made an improvement.
Yeah, I'm just... Well, if somebody did one, I'm curious what they did. Because we just watched it, so we would actually recognize it. I guess their search doesn't work, so I guess either nobody's remade it. Wow, somebody did a fan edit of GoldenEye? Huh. Blade Recall 20. So yeah, people will do... And somebody has to have done it, but I can't find it. Somebody did a fan edit of the Skeleton Crew series? Really? All right. Right, sure.
The Star Wars one?
The Star Wars series, yeah. I wonder if they just made a movie version out of it. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Let me put the year. I didn't think about that. That's probably because there are so many of them. Let's. Well, the first thing that came up was just finished the host. Am I missing something? Extremely underwhelming after hearing such rave reviews. Yeah. So okay, it's not just us. Yeah. So yeah, I would be curious if there was a fan edit for this and what they would have changed, but I cannot right now find one, so I don't know. Maybe nobody bothered. Or if they did, I can't find it. So then...
Okay, so in defense of Joe thought this was a kaiju movie. I thought it was a kaiju movie. It is not a kaiju movie. That right there means we shouldn't even have been watching it. But we didn't know, and that says something about this movie that we thought, both separately, that it was a kaiju movie. Go on, sir.
Yeah, this is the essence of...
Let's go. Okay, stop.
2016's Colossal. Which... Okay.
You want me to try? You want me to try? I know. I kind of have this.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So
go ahead. Do it. Go ahead.
So the thing with this movie is this is a drama about an unlikable alcoholic who essentially goes from a relationship where to some degree she's in kind of a mutually abusive relationship, I think, at the beginning, where they kind of shit on each other. And then she goes home to kind of figure her shit out, and she finds a guy who turns out to be even worse, right? And treats her more like shit, and then she really has to kind of come into her own to combat that. Now, that's the idea that I think this movie was working on. But they realized that was too generic a movie, because that movie's been made. There's a lot of different versions of movies like that, right? So the director, who has never done and hasn't done any kind of monster movie since, said, you know what? I want to do a movie where their self-destruction is expressed as a metaphor as kaiju that are destroying South Korea. And I'm never going to give you a really good explanation for it. But I'm going to give you an ass explanation for it, including lightning. And that's the movie. And the thing is that there's so many mistakes with this movie. For one, the fact that what's the actor's name? Jason Sudeikis is supposed to be he's supposed to be this guy that at first seems like a really nice guy and then turns into this kind of massive narcissist asshole. The problem is, A, Jason Sudeikis is incredibly likable. That works against him. Number two, the direction and the writing never really gives you the footwork beforehand. Like, you have no idea that he's going to make that turn till he makes that turn. And what's weird is that it's almost like the director figured it out around the same time as the audience. Like, it feels that out of nowhere. And then once he becomes an asshole, he goes so far around the bend. He is making a concerted effort to be a humongous asshole, to the point of which that he may kill hundreds of thousands of people in South Korea as his own monster. right? So the writing doesn't make any sense. There's nothing wrong with Anne Hathaway's performance. She is an unlikable alcoholic. She's in the wrong movie. Or you know what? Joe and I were in the wrong movie. That's really what it is. There didn't need to be kaiju in this. I feel like it was a bait and switch. It's like one of those articles with a headline where they're like, you know, my Godzilla destroys blank. And then like you get in the article and they're like, well, Godzilla's actually my self-destructive nature. There's no kaiju in this article. It felt deceptive. We got to a point where we were like, fuck, this is not the movie we thought it was going to be. This is not really a kaiju movie. We skipped to the head just so we could say we saw the ending, which just annoyed the shit out of us even more. At which point we said, no, we shouldn't have. This isn't a kaiju movie. Shouldn't have even been in the month. And, yeah, we walked away. Does that sum it up? Vaguely?
Yeah, no, I think that's a fairly accurate representation of what we went through. Yeah. I mean, it's just...
You didn't know what you were watching. Like, in the beginning, I swear, if you took the kaiju out of this, it would just be... And honestly, you could edit the kaiju out of this, and it would just turn it into, like, some kind of weird, you know, late-night drama about a girl whose life falls apart and she meets bad men. But like Jason Sudeikis is so poorly fit for the role he's in, and then everybody else is wasted because there's actually like is it Dan Stevens? Dan Stevens in this? Is his name?
Dan Stevens? Barely. I forgot he was even in it. Yeah,
Dan
right.
Stevens is in this. Totally wasted. There's a couple other actors that are in this that are actually quite good. Totally wasted. And then Anne Hathaway really wanted to do this because she thought it was going to be her. I think she said in an interview that this was going to be like almost like her being John Malkovich movie. By the way, I saw one of the John Malkovich masks from that movie today at the Horror Museum. They had one of the John Malkovich masks that one of the extras wears in the background when he goes in there, and they're all Malkovich, which I thought was very funny. Anyway, so yeah, she really wanted that to be her thing. And honestly, what this movie really did for me was concrete why I like Scarlett Johansson so much, which is that when Anne Hathaway goes and makes a weird fucking movie, she makes Colossal. When Scarlett Johansson decides she's going to make a weird movie, she makes Under the Skin or Ghost in the Shell, movies that didn't particularly do well, but she put fucking everything behind them. They were fantastic. You know, Under the Skin is a very heavy, weird movie, but Ghost in the Shell is amazing. And I'll take Scarlett Johansson over Anne Hathaway anytime. I wonder if Anne Hathaway was trying to use this to also get away from like her nice girl image, because I mean actors do that where they use a movie as like a vehicle to not be like, you know, I don't want to just be the sweetie girl anymore, right? And I didn't like anyone in this movie, and the one person I started to like was Jason Sudeikis. When he turns into an asshole, it's such there's such a forced effort to make him an asshole. Like, it's not just that he's like casually an asshole. It's like he's going out of his way to try to be an asshole in every specific decision, which takes so much work, and it comes off so like, you know, like it's so try hard. Yeah. I mean, the monster design was kind of interesting looking, if nothing else. I mean, it was kind of a weird looking Anne Hathaway monster. I would have rather watched a movie just about the two monsters.
Sure. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yes, you were very done with this movie.
Yeah. And let's be very clear about something, because a lot of what I see, as far as people who love this movie, are like, "Oh wow, it's so great to see a movie that uses this as a metaphor." And okay, I have to take myself out of my head for a minute and remember that not everybody watches a lot of movies that I watch.
Yes, and I agree with this. If you're not a kaiju person and you watch this movie because you like Anne Hathaway and you like dramas, you probably have a great fucking time.
Well, or where I was going with it was, if you know, I don't have a problem with movies that are one thing on the surface and are actually about something else underneath. I'm the person who advocates for Stalker all the time. And that movie is not really about three guys wandering in a weird zone. I mean, it is, but it isn't. I'm okay with subtext, subversion, and thematic layering. Like, I'm okay with that stuff. So I can handle it.
Yeah, but the guy who did Stalker is a fucking genius. This guy, not so much.
Well, okay, but to try to look at it from the other side, get a little broader perspective, most people don't watch Stalker. So for a lot of people, this may have been a gateway to show them a movie that seemed to be about one thing, but was about the other. Now, for us, that layering was as subtle as a sledgehammer to your skull because you're doing bone shaping. Because we've seen a lot of this stuff. So this is not subtle in what it's doing. But for somebody who just watches, and I'm not using this as a critique, I'm just saying people who watch a lot of mainstream films, which are often what you see is what you get, this might seem a little bit more nuanced because they're suckered in by the giant monster thing only to find out, oh, it's an expression of their toxic relationship. And that might be eye-opening for some people. So, for those people, this may be a very good movie. It does seem to have an audience. And perhaps that is its audience. For us, although I think there is no excusing the miscasting of Jason Sudeikis. I agree with you. That is just, I don't know. I have to imagine that he was the same as Anne Hathaway wanting her version of whatever.
He wanted to be different, yeah.
Yep, I completely believe it when you said that he wanted to do a serious role. Yes, he can't do them. Sorry, Jason, you can't do them. Or at least you didn't prove your ability in this.
He's being likable.
Well, the thing is, then you don't start him off as likable as he is, because what you immediately do, because I didn't even say his real name. I said, oh, look, it's Ted Lasso, because that's the persona. And so what you have to do is, and this is if I was to rewrite this movie and go back and say, well, here's how I would slightly alter things, guys. I wouldn't even change everything, because again, I do think that for the straights, this may be a subtle movie. We're not those people. That's fine. So I'm not even going to say alter the major stuff, because
I need more.
Anne Hathaway might be a gateway drug to layered storytelling. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
I needed there to be a little more legwork with Sudeikis. I needed there to be more hints to his darkness.
That was done completely wrong, because what they should have done, I think I may have said this when we were watching it, the young guy who she sleeps with ultimately.
Yeah.
That should have been the nice guy for her. And Jason Sudeikis should have been the guy that she remembered also going to high school or being in town, but never really was close with because he always seemed like he thought he was better than her or whatever. And then you can make that turn a lot more easily. Something, because they have this, the inciting incident is the two of them are kids. They're walking with these little dioramas, and they get struck by lightning. And so his diorama had a robot, hers had a creature. And that's why the monsters are what they are, which is a giant creature and a robot. And so you could have had it where, because then he gets her thing and he like stomps on it out of anger because he's jealous or whatever, because he's got a jealousy problem. And you could have set that, it could have been identically same thing. But then after that, she never talked to him again. Left town, comes back and says, I haven't seen you since whatever.
They should have shown it sooner, is what they should have.
Well, you don't even have to do that, but you could basically have it where you know that the two of them were friendly when they were really young and something happened. And so, you're always kind of like, well, what happened? And so you're never completely on board with him. And that allows that turn to happen more organically. So if you make the kid the one who's being nice to her, and Sudeikis just happens to own the bar and he's like, yeah, okay, if you want to give her some of her leftover furniture, whatever, fine. And it's just a little more standoffish, just a bit, not cruel off the bat, but just a little bit less on top of her, then it makes more sense. But instead, he comes off like the nice guy that she hasn't seen in a while. And then there's just a point where he becomes a mean drunk, but then he becomes homicidal mean drunk. Yeah. And it's just like, whoa, wait a second.
Very quickly.
Yeah. And that's the problem. as you said, Anne Hathaway's fine. But, then they're trying to do comedy, and then it gets really fucking sinister.
And that's the weird thing, is both these movies did that, where they wanted to have comedic elements, and then they would do something really fucked up. Like, there's a moment in this movie where Anne Hathaway realized that as a kaiju, she has killed hundreds of people, if not thousands. Right? And you're like, yeah, that's pretty fucking dark. Like, right. and that even gets thrown in her face at one point, and it's like, yeah, you fucking killed a lot of people. And it's like,
and that's the other problem with the Sudeikis thing, is because, okay, I mean, they just go from seems like a mean drunk to genocidal awfully fucking quickly. Where, I mean, again, because he's set up as a nice guy who's doing all these nice things, he gives her a job, he gives her a television, he gives her a couch, he's doing all this stuff. And then at a certain point, he's like, hey, I'll just kill a bunch of people if you don't meet me in the park and, we have a slap fight or whatever. Is what? So again, you could, there are very easy, not even subtle, but there are ways to set this up where, okay, again, in my rewrite, where the bar is still owned by Sudeikis, but the kid is the one that Anne Hathaway's really interacting with. Right, so Sudeikis is behind the bar. He's had a couple of drinks, and a couple of Asian guys come in, and he just doesn't like them, and he's just acting really mean to them. And he doesn't like Asian people. Okay. Well, then when he was going to just wipe out half of Korea, that is a less far journey to go.
Throw in the racism.
Well, but you layer it in. You don't make it obvious. You say, hey, get out of here, you slurs. He just doesn't.
I agree.
I'm not saying you have to go that obvious.
I did not enjoy this movie. It was
this movie fucking blew because it was not done right.
And it's not
for us. This movie was awful,
and it was not for us. Yeah, it was definitely not for us.
No, and that's why I am somewhat.
But I'm still glad that we tried, because we didn't know.
Yeah,
I'm glad we tried.
Yeah, I'm not sorry I watched it so that I can warn others not to. But the problem is, and then even to kind of contradict myself from earlier, where I'm trying to think more broadly, I'm picturing like my mother watching this, right? And my mother wouldn't like it. I'm picturing my sister watching this, and I think my sister would say, "Why was Sudeikis such an asshole?"
Yeah,
I don't even think that would be her problem. I think she would be okay with what the metaphor.
Why did he suddenly become such a dick?
Yes. It's such a rapid.
Why is
and
Ted Lasso suddenly a big dick?
Well, that's another problem. Is I told you when we were watching it on 30 Rock, Sudeikis basically plays this character, not homicidal, but he's a guy who's a recovering alcoholic, and the Tina Fey character accidentally gets him drunk because she doesn't realize there's alcohol in the food that they're ordering.
Oh yeah,
because So he keeps ordering it, and she's like, "Wow, you really like this salmon with jack sauce," and she says, "The jack sauce." The waiter, she's like, "The jack sauce has alcohol," and he's like, "Yeah, but it burns off when you cook it." And she's like, "Yeah, but he's been getting it on the side."
Oh.
And they make a joke out of it. The waiter's like, "Wow, that's why there's so many drunk kids in here all the time." Like, it's a funny bit.
Yeah.
But then Sudeikis does turn into an asshole. Not, again, homicidal. He doesn't shoot her in the face or anything. But he starts calling her a bitch. Like, they literally do almost the same thing in this movie where he's like, "You fucking bitch." Except he doesn't say fucking in the TV show. But he says, "You bitch." Because then he realizes that she allowed him to keep eating this stuff. And he gets very mean. He doesn't hit her or anything. It doesn't go that far.
No, they're still doing it within the context of a larger comedic show.
And then the next day, he's actually very hungover and sorry because he's like, "Yeah, this is why I had to stop drinking because I get like this." He's like, "So I'm sorry if I was mean to you because this is why I can't drink. This is exactly why I can't do it because I become a very mean person." But that's set up from him initially where he's very careful about not drinking. This is a total accident. Whereas in this movie, he's drinking, and he just like the guy with the coke habit thing, which I'm still not even clear.
Which kind of comes out of
on
nowhere.
whether the guy out of nowhere, and I don't know whether the guy actually was doing drugs or was actually having a bowel problem because he says I have a digestive issue.
Yeah.
So you don't even know what that is.
If it was just
it just
being
becomes
an
an
asshole,
avalanche.
Yeah.
And it's again, and what compounds it is he's not a good enough dramatic actor to sell the transformation. But even if he was, it's bungled because they make him too nice up front. Whereas, again, if you just, and it doesn't have to be hit over the head type stuff, just these little things where when she first shows up, actually, I make this joke about my wife watches Beverly Hills 90210, terrible show from the 90s. And there's characters on there who are addicts that then can do certain controlled substances because apparently they're unrelated. So you'll have somebody who was an alcoholic, but if he just drinks light beer, it's fine. This person who was in rehab, and then 4 seasons later, he's drinking light beer and it's fine. Or one is addicted to coke, but she can drink because, they just mix all this stuff together. Like addictive personalities are very specifically channeled. And if you just wait long enough, you can reset and do something else. And it's fucking ridiculous. I mean, it's nonsense. But there's a guy who's another one who's an alcoholic who owns a bar. And it's like, okay, man, I'm not saying that can't be done, but you are kind of tempting yourself all the time, aren't you? This seems like a bad choice.
Well, I mean, Anne Hathaway's an alcoholic in this movie, and she goes to work at a bar.
Yeah, well, she does, because she's still drinking at first, but then she tries to stop. And it's next like, you drink or
and then
I'll
he's
go.
like, you better fucking
around,
drink. Yeah, and it's like, that shit gets so out of.
Yes.
So out of
and
control.
Again, if they'd made it where she comes back and you find out they'd had a terrible breakup, and he drank for a while to deal with it,
if he was an ex-boyfriend or something like that, yeah.
Yes. This would be a way to.
It wasn't done.
Layer it in.
But you know what? It might work for people who are not looking for a monster movie. If you're looking for a drama,
But I have a hunch that even those people would get hung up on Sudeikis now. Maybe not before Ted Lasso, but maybe now. So, I don't know. But, as you said, we can only speak for our own experience. And mine with this movie was, fuck you, get lost. Did not... Actually, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Sound clip.
Fuck you.
That was my response. I mean, it was pretty bad for me. And it's a shame because I don't think the concept itself is bad. The idea that these two people, they're monsters that haunt them, become manifest, that idea can be done. It's been done. It's been done well.
Well, I mean, Jekyll
there's
and
lots of
Hyde.
movies where,
Jekyll and Hyde is being haunted by the monster that lives inside of you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
I don't think that it. Listen, I don't think it was written well. Actually, I don't. And direction-wise, it was adequate direction-wise, but I wasn't.
It was completely forgettable.
I wasn't massively impressed with that either. So, I mean, listen, the host looked interesting, looked good. I liked that guy as a director. Snowpiercer was an interesting looking movie. I just felt like his movie dragged. Colossal, no, I just didn't like it. I felt like this was somebody trying to use a gimmick to get people in the theater. Much like releasing your movie on fucking VHS. Listen, if you got to release your movie on VHS to get attention, there are other problems.
Okay, well, I don't know whether that is a cynical reason or a real one. I will extend the benefit of the doubt that maybe there is a... I don't understand the whole thing where different cultures spend all this time making something out of sand to blow it away the next day because they can't have perfection or it insults the creator either. But I don't doubt their sincerity. I just wish there was more art in the world. So to me, it seems like a waste. So, all I'm saying as far as the VHS thing is, I can't necessarily say for sure, based on other things that go on in the world.
I like that you're defending the VHS thing, but not Colossal.
Well, I'm not because the problem with Colossal is it has too many problems. Releasing something on VHS is a decision. It's an indie short, so it's not, whatever. That's okay. And it seems to come from a place of genuine expression, right? Okay. I don't think it doesn't hurt to have that attention. I completely agree. I'm not saying that two things can't be true at once. Whereas Colossal has too many failures for me to write it off for myself. One being the miscasting of Sudeikis, the bait and switch of it not being a monster movie, not really, and the fact that even the story it is attempting to be is not done properly. And I think any one of those things you can get past. All those things doom a movie. Because you could say if you would disagree, but if this movie had been excellently done with that premise, I'd be like, okay, you know what? I would never have watched this if you told me it was a drama about damaged people. But the movie thing got me in, and it was a good movie. So whatever,
but
it worked.
The drama part wasn't good enough.
That's what I'm saying. It's not one thing. It's all these things in combination doom the movie.
Yeah.
Whereas The Host, if it had been 30 minutes shorter, maybe the tonal disparities would not have been as big a deal for us because it would have been tighter.
You know what?
There would have been less time in that middle.
The Host, if they hadn't separated the siblings, right, and had that whole kind of middle section with the three of them going about separately, right? If they'd kept them together and gone from the sequence where the father dies to them basically going to the sequence where they use the computer to track where the phone signal was, right?
Right.
It would have been okay. It would have still worked. But honestly, that's how I edit it. I would just edit out that whole middle section with the kids.
And that's
being
exactly
separate.
what I was saying. Is if they chopped 30 minutes and that 30 minutes was the middle,
it'd be good.
Then I think we would have we would probably have a better opinion of it because we both like the ending. I know I love the opening 20 minutes. So,
but you like the middle was tighter. You like the very end sequence as well. That last bit with the kid and the little food, his food cart thing where they're living there and they're alone.
That's what I said. I like the ending. So the beginning and the ending are good. It's the middle that didn't bore me only because I didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah,
now it would, and now I would be fast forwarding. I'd be like, I don't care about that. Now I am prepared
for your bullshit. Yeah.
Yes. So that's a movie where our problems are far fewer.
Yeah.
Than something like this where the setup is all wrong. And that's what I mean. It's not one thing. The Host is really two problems. It's too long, which is easily solved with editing. Easily. And the tonal shifts. But editing would probably reduce that second problem.
Yes.
Because the directing is far better from a technical standpoint. It's got these really beautiful shots.
He is a good director.
And because we don't understand the language, for us, all the acting's good. Hey!
No,
so fine.
But you know what? Emotionally, what the dialogue said, or the subtitles said they were trying to communicate, I felt that.
Yeah. Yeah. But even if it's over the top, we wouldn't notice. So, some of the nuance gets lost when you don't understand the language. So even that, if there is some kind of lesser acting, we probably wouldn't have noticed it. Whereas we understood everything going on in Colossal and liked very little of it.
Oh, I will also add that Anne Hathaway was apparently in her second trimester of pregnancy.
Yes.
So when we were watching the movie, we didn't know this, and I think you were the one that was like, "What's up with Anne Hathaway's shape?"
I thought she looked different than when I was used to seeing her.
And I was like that. But yeah, she was well into pregnancy through this movie.
But it also has to be said, I think the only other thing I really remember Anne Hathaway from is from Catwoman, where she's in a skin-tight Catwoman outfit.
Yeah.
Or from a Dark Knight, sorry. I said
Dark
Catwoman.
Knight, yeah.
I really only remember her as Catwoman. I don't know if there's anything else I'm sure I've seen her in, but...
I so love the Bale Batman movies, right? But I think that the Batman has such a massively better Catwoman that it really makes the Anne Hathaway version seem so hollow now to me.
I don't think there's anything that the Batman doesn't do better than the Nolan films.
Oh, but I like
the Joker's fine, but it's just the Joker.
Yeah, but I think that Bale does a good Batman. It's just not Detective Batman. It's Ninja Batman, and that's fine. But I still see those, and I enjoy those. But Anne Hathaway, her Catwoman compared to I can't remember her name. It's Zoe
Zendaya?
No, it's Kravitz.
No, Zoe Kravitz, right?
Yeah, her Catwoman is just done so much better. There's so much so much more conflict, so much more character.
Oh yeah.
Like I just thought she was just better done.
Well, they also.
I mean, granted, listen, I love Michelle Pfeiffer though as Catwoman.
Oh, she's great, but that's a vamp Catwoman. But that's okay because even in the Adam West series, there were multiple Catwomen, so it's all right.
Yes, there were. Yeah. So.
But I mean, let's be honest. Dark Knight Rises, outside of Bane, kind of blows the characters anyway. That Talia is a nothing character.
Oh yeah, I forget she's in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, right. You forget that's supposed to be Ra's al Ghul's. I mean,
Ra's al Ghul's daughter is no.
Way different in the comics. Way different. And of course, I'll never shut up about the fact that that's not Two-Face in the second movie. So let that get started on my problem with how Nolan handles some of the villains. Because fuck you. But but that's what I mean is that's the only version of Anne Hathaway I have on memory is her in a catsuit, which is not fair. But that's the only thing I really remember seeing.
I watched a lot of kid movies with Anne Hathaway. My kids were younger.
I'm sure I've seen her in other things, but I don't remember them. So to go from what I remember her as to this, I noticed.
And I do feel like she made a concerted effort to not be like the sweetie. Like, she was trying to shake the image. Because I think you get typecast. I mean, that's what Keaton was worried about. Where he's like, I don't want to just be the superhero guy.
In this movie, I thought she was very good.
She was unlikable. She was an unlikable drunk. She did that well. I did not like her.
Yes, she definitely was a very flawed character. I wouldn't say I didn't like her. I just found the character was flawed. But at least she had some angst over murdering people.
No, that's the thing.
I'll give her that. She didn't handle it casually.
Listen, Anne Hathaway, I think, is the best part of the movie. How about that? She handles her piece of it as well as she can. But I don't think it's written well for me. I don't think it's handled well to me. Jason Sudeikis is not the person for that role. The character itself is not given the proper legwork to make you understand that the foreshadowing is not there. This is, you know what? I think it's very simple. They always say if there's a gun in the first act, it's got to go off by the third. Right? Yeah. A gun went off in the third act, and there was never a gun in the first.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it is. And you're like, oh, where did the gun come from?
Right.
And you're like, oh, no, it was just there.
Mm-hmm.
And the director's like, it was always there. I'm like, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
So I don't know who I would tell to watch Colossal. I think I'd just tell most people not to watch Colossal.
I would say if you're an Anne Hathaway super fan, you need to see everything she's ever been in.
Cool. I mean, that's
much like I am with Mila.
I guess, yeah.
That's it.
Don't worry.
So
we're never having a month of Hathaway. Don't worry.
Oh no, we're not. But I'm not going to tell you that I don't understand people who are fans like that. So if you have to see everything she's in, I at least she's trying in this. So I'll give her that. Whatever other faults there may be, I don't really have a problem with her. She's playing an unlikable character on purpose. She's not making the character unlikable, and I think she does a good job with it. That's about the best I can say about it. So yes, I don't know who I would recommend it for outside of Anne Hathaway completionists.
Whereas the host, I'm not saying the host is all bad. I'm just saying that for me it drags to the middle. So I would tell people, if you were fascinated, you might like it. You might like the host far more than I did.
Yes, I appreciate the host feeling very. It felt like it had its own personality.
Yes,
and I think that was great. Whatever else I'll say.
Yeah, I don't think it wasn't a forgettable movie. It's not like Colossal. The direction of Colossal, you said, we both said it's nothing to write home about. Whereas the direction of the host is well done, and I've seen Snowpiercer, and he has a unique eye. he does know how to tell a story. It just seems that he likes to drag it through the middle. You know, he needs to make sure.
I don't think I've seen Snowpiercer, which I remember being bummed out by, but I liked it.
Yeah, it was a bummer.
And I don't think I've seen anything else of his, so I don't know if he typically makes longer films like this.
You know, Snowpiercer was fucking long. Do you know they made a series, by the way, of Snowpiercer?
I know, it's like 3 seasons long.
Why would you watch? Anyway.
Listen, man, people watch The Walking Dead. People watch Last of Us.
So
people watch miserable shit.
Okay, so he did Snowpiercer. Let's see. He did
Parasite, which I've heard is very good, but I have no desire to watch now.
Yeah, Okja is another one he did with the little girl and the lab created.
Did he do
animal.
Old Boy? Is he Old Boy guy?
No, he's not. He's not the Old Boy guy. I don't think.
Okay.
No, he's not Old Boy. No,
right.
No. But what he did do is he did that new movie Mickey 17, and I was curious about that movie. But I bet you it's 2 hours and 17 minutes long. Yeah. I bet you it's great in the beginning, drags to the fucking middle, and then has kind of a neat ending.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I wonder, if you just have to fast forward through the middle of his movie.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, no, wait a minute. Oh, wow. Oh, the guy who did Old Boy produced Snowpiercer. That's funny. Yeah. Boy. Yeah. It's easier for me to tell people you might want to take a chance on the host. Might play different for you. That's easier. So yeah, it's like you said, the only audience I would say, well, you should see Colossal then, is if you want to see every Anne Hathaway movie just to see the variety of what she's done, that you like her, and you want to see her kind of try to stretch herself into an unlikable role. Well, yeah, she does that. I can't really criticize her. So yes, that's the person. Whereas the host is more easily recommended for people who want to see a different spin on. If you're watching monster movies from a non-American perspective, and you want to see a different take on this idea of a rampaging monster, one that clearly has some cultural themes woven in and is trying to kind of say a lot of different things and is analyzing the nature of like a family unit and how it handles crisis, all that stuff. Yeah, you might love it. And I wouldn't, there's enough there that I think I'm not surprised the host is liked by a lot of people. I'm just not somebody who has that same level of adoration for it. It's just a little too long. And the tone, because of the length, the tonal rip currents are a little bit too harsh. Whereas I agree with you. I think if you chop that middle down quite a bit and just kept the essential story bits with the siblings, I think it might be a massively better movie. But I was still, if you've seen all the other movies by that director and you've liked them, then you'll probably like this one. I know a lot of people love Parasite. And so, there's definitely, as Lando said, there's these elements where they have an American doctor come in who's he's cross-eyed, and he's playing it for comedy, heavy comedy.
But he's the straight man, and what's comedic is what the fuck is coming out of him. You know?
So that's the thing, is there are these elements where I'm like, okay, yeah, they make the Americans either the assholes or the doofuses of the movie, based on, as you said, a real incident. So there's definitely that element going on too, and that's why I do think it's easier to recommend the host. Just be aware that, it might seem a little long, but technically very well shot. Brilliant opening, good ending. And for some people, the good opening and the good ending, I've said a good ending can save a movie. So I wish the ending had been as powerful as the opening, because then I might forgive everything in the middle. I might be like, hey man, that ending, fuck it, who cares? Save the whole movie. As it is, just a little long, but I wouldn't say it's only for a certain audience the way I would say Colossal is for Anne Hathaway superfans.
Yeah, I was looking to see if that guy had gone on to like direct anything amazing, but like I don't.
The Colossal person.
Yeah, because I haven't really seen him do anything else that big. I mean, he did ABCs of Death. He did the Messiah Ceremony, the VHS Viral series, like, you know. No.
Was this one of his first movies?
No, not even. He did, hold on. He did a whole bunch of Spanish stuff before he got here. Remember, he's a Spanish director. So, no, this is his, hold on, 1, 2, this is, I think, his third English movie. He did a movie called Open Windows with Elijah Wood that did not get great reviews.
You know what? I'll say this, too.
Oh, wow. You know, I just realized it.
Yeah.
It's Elijah Wood and Sasha Grey.
Oh, well. Okay.
Yeah. Sasha
This is
Grey,
another
for
thing
those who don't know, is a tremendous porn star.
Adult actress, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's another thing I'll say is as a one more thing where I'm saying a positive for Colossal is I still would rather watch a huge swing and miss like this than another version of, you know, a Hallmark film where it's just stamp and repeat. So at least it was something different.
No, if we're using that as a standard to include, yes, this was better than a bad Hallmark movie.
Yes. So it was a big swing and a miss, but I'll give it credit that it didn't just do the same old thing.
At least it swung.
It definitely
At least it
tried.
swung.
It tried.
Yeah.
And for us it failed. For others, maybe not. And again, as a Mila apologist, I will watch a lot of stuff Mila's in and completely ignore the huge problems with it. So again, for an Anne Hathaway superfan, they may love it. It's, you know, it may be her taking, it may be your 45. If so, great. That's good. But yeah, we haven't had a week like this before where we didn't like any of the stuff we watched. I mean, granted, it was only 2 things. But, you know, that's the nature of rolling the dice on complete unknowns. So I don't anticipate with the remaining films that we'll have another week like this. But, yeah, go forth so advised.
Hey, I don't regret having tried.
No. It's I don't know any other scenario I would have watched these 2 movies. So now at least I can say, well, I watched them. And then if somebody says, well, what'd you think? I can tell them.
And I don't need to see them again.
No. Those were nuked from the watch library about the minute they both got done. So
those are being nuked right now as we speak.
Yep. From orbit. It's the only way to be sure. And on that note, everybody, whatever you do, watch, consume, listen to, whatever over the weekend, enjoy it. And we will be back again, most likely, next week. Visit OzoneNightmare.com to subscribe to new episodes or to browse through our back catalog. Email questions or comments to ozonenightmare@gmail.com. If you'd like to support the show, visit supportourshow.com and select whatever option works best for you. The opening theme for the show is provided by Heartbeat Hero. The closing theme is provided by Ogre. Please visit and support these artists using the links in the show notes for each episode.